Hey, welcome back to Metro Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. You're looking good. Did you do something with your hair? Nicely done. How's everyone doing? It is May 26, 2022. I am feeling like just kind of drowsy, like hungover of sorts. Not sure why. Like honestly, no, it's weird. But I'm doing okay. Doing okay. We have a nice streaming ahead of us. We got a couple hours of some Netrunner. We have a deck list of the week. It's a bit of a meme. Kind of. It's not a serious one, but we have some serious things to talk about. Macaroni, hey, how's it going? How's your week been? What's Friday looking like? What do I have to say about this week? Not too much. I've been busy enough. Maddie and I have been playing a lot of Ark Nova, which is a board game about making a zoo with scientific backing. And it's pretty great. It's kind of like one of the pinnacle board games right now in the BGG scene. So maybe you're tired of hearing about it, but I think it's quite fantastic. We are like, I think 12 games in. I've played like 4 or 5 solo games. It's wild. Okay, where do we stand today? This is a Magnum Corpus. How many people who are playing Netrunner now don't know what Magnum Opus is? Because it's not been around for a while. Friday is looking busy. I have this Metropole Grid stream to watch. Yeah, I know how that goes. And the exact same time, a Warriors playoff game, and as always, work in some tab or other. Yeah, that's wild, actually. Like, I suppose there's a lot of stuff that overlaps really well from at least from the Western Hemisphere over work time. So well done. How are the Warriors doing? It's the NBA playoffs. I assume the Warriors are like a basketball team. Golden State Warriors. Yep, that's the ball game, as they call it. Warriors are 1 game away from the finals. Ooh, let's go. Who are they playing against? Because if it's a team that I care, specifically a team that has Slovenian players, go other team. I used to know a fair bit, I guess, about basketball many moons ago. I think when I was a kid, my dad was always really involved in basketball. He still plays regularly. Actually, maybe he doesn't play so much anymore. But yeah, we used to follow back in the day. You know, all the teams. The Raptors used to be really cool. It was great. Howdy, Andre. Hey, Solomir. I heard some odd politics related kerfuffle coming from your side of the country, but does it really impact you, right? It doesn't really impact you. No, I guess it sort of does. I'm not too qualified to speak about it. I've been trying to do some research, but it's a bit confusing. But in short, here he is going to expose his ignorance about the issue, is that right now Quebec has just passed something called Bill 96, if I'm not mistaken, which is a language bill. Around these parts, there's a fair bit of language bills because there is a department of the French language. And right here in Quebec and French Canada, there's a lot of like really strong values of making sure French is not, Quebecois French is not like pushed to the side. There's like a lot of culture-based bureaus. Le Fils de, I forget exactly what it's called. And so there's some language rules that have that just recently been put in. A lot of people are claiming that they're gonna do different things than. It's a bit vague. Like originally I heard the idea that, and this thing has passed, mind you, is that they said medical practitioners will be forced to respond to you in French, even if English is your front language, something like that, which a lot of people have said that's not true. That's like a reading of the law that's not correct, but like stuff like that's a bit alarming. From what I understand that they are doing definitely is they're reducing the amount of people who are allowed to go into English CEGEPs, and CEGEP is it's an acronym. It's basically what like, it's something specifically Quebecois that is between high school and college. So here, high school is only till grade 11, and then you do 2 years of CEGEP at a different like college, and then from there you can go on to universities if you want to, or go to trade school, whatever further schooling you want to go from there. So they're limiting the amount of people that can go to English only CEGEPs, which a lot of my friends did that. I did not grow up here. Actually, I grew up in Ontario. They're also doing some limitations, or not limitations, but they're saying any immigrants that come to Quebec have 6 months to learn English. Sorry, to learn French. That is the rule, and at that point the government will stop corresponding to them in English. Like they're basically saying like immigrants have to learn French, you have 6 months. I don't fully understand exactly what's happening. There's also some rules about like different businesses requiring to do certain things, because it's this place is a really interesting place for business. There's a lot of like international businesses here in the city because it's like a nice kind of like link between North America and Europe. There's a lot of bilingualism, which is really great. And I think they're now trying to force more that certain businesses of certain sizes have to be running majority in French. Again, I'm not 100% sure, and I need to do more research into it, but people are out there definitely protesting. There's people, you know, very upset about it. There's again, they're not forcing, but they're, I guess, forcing, requiring more CEGEP students to take more courses in French. I don't know how much y'all know about Montreal or Quebec, but more Montreal, I guess, which I think is the English hotspot in Quebec, from my understanding. But like West Island or even parts of Laval, there's people there who live here who don't speak any French whatsoever. I went to college with friends who did all their schooling in English in Montreal, and my French is better than their French, and they're trying to stop that, or trying to prevent that from happening. It's weird. Language laws are definitely really weird. I'm a bit worried because my French is not great, and hearing things like, and again, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is the reality of the matter, but like if I have to converse with the tax people, or if I have to converse with a judge, will they speak to me in English? Or my doctor, will they speak to me in English? Which is something where clear communication is of the utmost importance. So, oh my fault, Phil. Sorry. Phil, are you following us? How's it going, by the way? Rip OAC. Kyle, what's up? My hair's the same. You okay? Hey, Xren. Alec, how's it going? How y'all doing over there? Elwin, good afternoon, good evening. Yo, how's it going? Warriors have a Serb. I don't think there are any Slovenians. Serbs are basically, we're all Southern Slavs. You didn't need to go into too much detail, just hoping things are okay on your end. No, it's totally fine. It's a very interesting thing. I'm not exactly sure, like, because I wasn't too invested in Quebec when Bill 101 was a thing, which was like the last, like, very divisive, I think that's what it was, the language law. But it's strange, like, I'm not someone who speaks French. I'm not Quebecois. My family is immigrated from back was Yugoslavia, and I grew up in English Canada, and then I moved here. I've been here for about a dozen years or so. My French is not very good, and that's actually been a huge, like, that has a huge impact on your life. I live here, and to some extent, I feel like a second-class citizen. Like, I don't have the confidence to speak with a lot of people out there. I feel like I don't have the same opportunities as someone who speaks, the language that most people around here speak. Like, again, a lot of that's on me. I should be able to sort that out at this point in time. But like, there's definitely like, Quebec separatism was a big thing. It still is a big thing. It was a bigger thing maybe 10 years ago, even more than that, excuse me. But like the whole protection of the language, like that kind of makes sense to me. Like English is so pervasive. It's so easy for English to come in and take over everything because English does that. It spreads. It's the internet. It's a lot of, Western culture. Like it just happens. So I understand why people want to protect it. But I do feel like a lot of the strength, maybe just on the business side alone of like Montreal, is the fact that bilingualism is a very important thing to still have. Like, I don't know, English should not be entirely erased. Like, but I don't think that's the goal. Watching with Evie, how's she doing? Not great emotionally, but trying to go along. Ellen, I hope it's okay. Is YouTube stream down? Seabass, how's it going? No, let me check. I don't know if that's the case. It looks weird. No YouTube stream. Yo, okay, I don't know what's been happening, actually. Hold on, has my whole thing gone down? How's it going, Just Twitch? So, last week, I finished streaming, and when I was, like, doing my thumbnail and doing all the updates of the what's it called? The details, right? I got an email from YouTube saying that the video was delisted. The video was just straight up delisted because it violated their policies. And then it wasn't very clear. It just said the policies were like spam, misleading content, solicitation, but like it was 5 or 6 things. And it just said you misled those. If you want to contest the thing, you can click here to contest it. And then I go to appeal and it just says appeal not available. But basically the things that flagged me for doing are like posting links to take you somewhere else, or like spamming, or I don't know why that has been flagged. I was a bit suspicious that the fact that most of the videos are labeled as the Magic the Gathering content might have something to do with that, because that's technically inaccurate, but I don't control that. I just put the thing as gaming and I can't change it. So I have to change to a different like lifestyle or entertainment. Like I don't know what to do. But apparently right now the YouTube stream is just not up. You're totally right. It just didn't start. I've been hearing a lot of spam reports. Really? Because I got it last week and I was so frustrated. So then I have to download the video off Twitch and I re-uploaded it. So you might see the video from last week is actually an upload. It's not a live stream. So it doesn't have chat. It doesn't have a bunch of likes, because anybody who like watched it or liked it, those numbers are totally scrubbed. So like it's weird. And I don't know what's happening, but right now you're right. We are currently not streaming on YouTube. But it says we're live for 14 minutes and 39 seconds. I don't know what's going on, but you're right. There's no, is it, oh, it's private. The privacy is set to private. Hold on, if I hit the public button, shit, I'm not gonna hit the public button. So what I'm gonna do, so this was on me. So apparently it's been listed as private because they just privatized all my live streams, and I didn't notice. I don't know what's happened if I'm gonna hit public here. Like I don't know what's gonna happen to YouTube. Let's find out. I'll hit public, I'll hit save. Maybe we're live now. I don't know, maybe we are. If you are, how's it going, YouTube? Regardless, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube after, so. But it looks like, maybe we're on YouTube. I don't know. If it's not working, I'm sorry. That's been bad. But I don't know what's happening. It's weird to hear. Hey Jim, gotta pay you to shake the tag. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. If other people are getting flagged, I don't know what's happening. Whether there's issues, there's like no one you can talk to. It's like It's really frustrating in some ways on YouTube, right? Like we've put so much time and effort into this channel, right? Like we've been doing this for what, 5-6 years, and now, oh, it's good, it's back, it's back, it's back. Hey YouTube, how's it going? But we've been doing this forever. Like, well, you know what I mean? Like there's so much time and effort that goes into this channel, and then YouTube can just flag you. Like we got flagged last week. It did not like put anything on the permanent record or however YouTube works. But like if they just take the channel away from you, there's going to be no recourse. Like we're not even 5,000 subscribers on a platform that has like 1 million uploads every minute. Like it's so frightening in some ways when you think about it, that everything you do is not on a platform you control. DBS Frank, okay, perfect, you made it. How's it going? It's been a minute. It has been. Yo, Pat, do you have any important videos saved everywhere else? I have like the videos that I've uploaded saved on hard drives, but live streams aren't saved. Twitch eats them. Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering what happened to chat on YouTube last week when I was catching up. Yeah, it's just not there. Protecting language is an interesting topic that occasionally comes up when I talk to my friends from Hong Kong. It's like definitely a very, very interesting thing. You'll never be able to talk to a human being on YouTube about it either. Yeah, no, I have no doubt. Of course. There's no way we're going to be able to talk to anyone. If anything, like a robot might be like, oh, we've reviewed it. There's been no other charges levied against you. But it's really weird. Should have streamed in French if you didn't want to get censored. That would please Bill 96. They're going to say like every 1 in every 5 streams has to be seulement en français. Mais ce n'est pas possible. Je peux parler seulement un peu de français. C'est pas... My French is not very good. Should we avoid posting links in chat? No. Post, okay. No, don't avoid posting links, but like, don't post bad links, you know? But it's in Twitch, it's the YouTube side, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it's like the restream bot. Ce n'est pas possible pour moi. Ah, ce n'est pas possible pour moi. Ironically, YouTube auto blocks links, so spamming block links almost isn't a thing. Yeah, YouTube's a lot stricter on links, you're totally right. There was a spam bot last week, I think. Maybe that was an issue. Now, spam bots happen all the time. Unfortunately, like, restream bot doesn't know. Like, it just sends it out. Also, technically, I'm restreaming. Like, how I set up my streaming, I stream to, like, a node I have somewhere. And that node streams to Twitch and to YouTube. So there's a chance that YouTube might think, like, oh, incoming stream from some weird server. I think this is an automated stream, but I don't know. J'avance trop dans sur un. J'ai lancé un piratage. Or je lance. Oh, et la boulangerie? Oh, où est la boulangerie? Sounds like a false flag. It kind of is. But I'm worried about it. Hopefully it holds on. I'm glad that YouTube's back up. Apparently that was on me, so. La boulangerie. Okay. The French also I learned growing up. This cannot be understated. How ridiculous this is in Canada. Growing up, you were mandated to take French every year from grade 1 to grade 9, okay? You have to take 1 French course every semester. And it's not very good, right? Like it's weird. It's weird how they teach French to kids because they have units and lessons, right? It's not functional. Like it's not functional French. It's like, welcome to grade 3. Here we're going to have our French unit is going to be about the rainforest. How do you say the colorful tree frog, la renette? How do you say the parrot? I don't know. I'm assuming it's like parrot. That's probably wrong, right? Like, that is the lesson. And then be like, okay, the next lesson is about pizza. So, des champignons, des poivrons verts. Like, what do you want? The fromage on the pizza, right? And then there's never a unit to be like, how do you ask to go to the bathroom? Or how do you, like, ask where directions are? Or, like, how to do anything practical, right? It's always, like, something abstract. And maybe for kids that makes sense. I don't know. Not only was that the issue, but the bigger issue is that the French that they taught us was Parisian European French, which is a very different French in weird respects to Quebec. Not only are some words different, like just straight up different, where if you say some words in different regions between like Quebec and France, people will be like, what are you saying? That doesn't make any sense. But also the accent is wildly different. That when I first came to Quebec and heard someone speaking Quebecois French to me, I could not understand them. And this is for someone who took 9 years of basic French, 5 hours from the Quebec border. Like, what are they doing? Why? Just have a teacher from Quebec. I don't get it. I learned Parisian French. I don't know how well that would work in Quebec. It would be fine. Like, that's what I can do. It's fine. But it's so, like, I don't understand. It's meant to be the Canadian system and they're teaching us Parisian French. Yeah. Okay. French isn't the coolest language I've heard. It's cool, but the French accent is top tier. French accent's really great. I think well, this is going to get a lot of heat, but I think the European French accent is a fair bit nicer than Quebecois French accent, but they're still pretty good. It's weird how they were never dictates in English class. Dictate is just like a spelling test, right? Gus QC equals boss, Gus FR equals kids. Gus, excuse me. Really? Voras, Gus? Like blue humor balls? What is the funny? There's like a really funny French word for like bel Gus. Don't the people say bel Gus is like a hunk or something? Maybe I'm mixing it up with a different word. Don't you get a bit of stink eye if you speak Parisian French in Quebec? Yes. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think there's like some ongoing constant like animosity between like, oh, French people who come here who think, I don't know. I don't, there's like tension between it. Like French people will as consistently as kind of like a meme of sorts will like move down to like the plateau and have their French summers and then leave, and then people like look down upon that. So there's some animosity if you come speaking French, but like if you're an Anglo and you're trying to speak French, even if it's like a Parisian French, let alone any of the other like, you know, French versions, like people still like that, like you're doing something. But I think it's harder maybe if you're from Paris. I've heard some like people get slurred at for like just speaking bogus. Bogus is hunk. Thank you, Frank. That's like one of my favorite terms, bogus. I've already started speaking French to Evie, mixing it in with English. That's good. Yo, you gotta start young. My first language technically is Slovenian, and I don't speak it very well, but I understand 100% fluently. Like my parents speak to me only in Slovenian. It's just my Slovenian. Like they never forced us as kids to speak back, and I regret that. Pretty. Belgas is beautiful young girl. Okay, so that's just bogus and Belgas. It's a good word. I like to think it gets a bit of West Side Story between them sometimes. So the thing is, there's two competing French associations that give lessons: a Franco-Albertan one and a France-French sponsored Francophonie org. That's really interesting. Bogus, as in bogus, it's basically L1, yeah. It kind of is. But bogus is a funny term. I also want to get her to speak Mandarin, but I need to learn some first. Apparently there are parent-child courses you can do when they're around 5. That's really cool. From my understanding, it's the easiest time to learn a language when you're like quite young. So pick 6. Who knows? There's YouTube in every language. They just show her Dora the Explorer in Italian. She'll figure it out. The map. Il map. They absorb it so much when you, yeah, they really do. It's great. Okay. Maybe that's enough language stuff. It's wild. Just train your kids on Duolingo early. Yo, I'm hitting my 150 days in Duolingo this week. Wish me luck. How's it going? Good evening. Okay, Duolingo actually just announced like an ABC thing. Like I think for kids. I'm assuming that's why they call it that. Back to basketball. All right, so Sebastian K posted this deck list of the week, and this deck list of the week is a meme deck. I'm like 95% up sure. And the basic idea is to get Magnum Opus as a corp. Mandarin on Duolingo is awful. Maddie's doing Greek on Duolingo, and it's like such a wild difference. Sorry, we're getting really sidetracked here, but there's such a big difference between the quality of like the French and the Greek. Because if you do French, which is like a very popular language on Duolingo, I imagine, there is like 7 to 9 different French voices that will speak to you. It's not only like somebody will talk to you in a synthetic voice, but then they'll be like you talk to it, or like it'll say like there's dozens of different exercises within normal things. And I don't think Greek is anywhere as well supported. So it's just one voice talking to her, and she never talks to it because they just, I don't know. Yeah. Basketball. Elwin, it's just basket in French. Basketball is just called basket. It's wild. I played a game. How's it going, Burn? Against this deck last week. It was definitely a meme, but also the Jinja can be a real threat if you don't deal with it. There's like a list of cards I don't like in Netrunner. Jinja's one of them. It's like right up there with Mwanza. There's probably other ones. Those are the 2 that really get me. So the idea, again, is to make Magnum Opus for a corp. And for those who haven't been playing maybe for a while, you might be thinking, what is that? This was a card that came in the original core set and was around for a really long time. Magum. Okay. I was being a dork, don't mind. No, it's funny. Magnum Opus was in the original core set. It's a 2 MU program. It costs 5, and then it gave you the ability to click for 2 credits. And this thing, I don't actually 100% know what the meta looked like for really early competitive Netrunner. I know it was a bit of a mess, but I'm pretty sure Magnum Opus was probably a really defining card in there. And you saw this for a long time after that. You got like Doom Rig kind of shapers, and even criminals would like import this. It was only 2 influence, right? But you get this doom rig problem where all a runner had to really do was install 3 programs, which you could do pretty quickly with things like self-modifying code and even clone chip when creation and control came out after the first cycle. And then you just put down magnum opus, and all you have to do is spend your turn, hit it 4 times, gain 8 credits. I hit the table. I don't know if that came through the mic. Otherwise, that silence was what I was doing. And that's an issue because back then, if you had infinite money, there was nothing the corp could do. Right? Like this was before we have things like border control. This was before we had things like even Caprice Nase back in the day. There was nothing that could not be solved with enough money, barring like net damage decks. So things like border control, like things like Caprice Nase, things like Anoetic Void, these are actually really interesting cards because they make the game more than just having infinite credits. And while the game isn't like that anymore, people don't, well, people technically still have infinite credits. If it comes to like turn 20 and they have 3 Rizekis down, like, yeah, you kind of are feeling that same sort of squeeze. But it forces the corp to do more than just be like, haha, I'm winning with ice. And that's a thing that we kind of like say isn't a thing you should be doing in Netrunner. If your deck's solution is, I have good ice, like that's probably not a very good deck. Because a lot of decks need multiple ways to either get more value out of their ice by having upgrades, which makes that server like multiplicatively more powerful, or having like, you know, tricks like this. Old school chaos theory decks just stim hacking on opus. Yeah, that's totally true. You put down like self-modifying code, and again, stim hack had to rotate. But this means you got your magnum opus down for free, which turn 1 is pretty wild. Kate is freelancing for corpse now. Yeah, kind of seems like it, Chris. Someone who started with a single core, unless you got a good reason, you play Mopus. Also, Mopus is your best bet to beat C plus Scorch, which in the core sets, C Source plus Scorched Earth was the biggest win condition, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was definitely an issue, and money was the way to solve that. Now, the wild thing, boost to Magnum Opus. The wild thing about Magnum Opus is that while it's not around right there, the idea of this deck is to make Magnum Opus for a corp. And the short of the long is, if you get a Oaktown renovation on the table and you're brave enough to leave it there, every time you over advance this thing, you pay 1 to advance it, but then gain 3 back. So you're basically clicking for 2 credits, which is inherently a Magnum Opus for a corporation. And that's really cool. But this is the wild thing, is that that's actually quite bad. So Magnum Opus actually used to exist. This is such a cursed deck concept. Yo, Eric, I know it. Capital Investors was a card. This has been out, technically has been out of rotation for a while, but this existed for a really long time in the life of Netrunner, and this card saw no play. It is literally Magnum Opus for a corporation. Obviously, there's some differences here. It can be trashed. You need to install it. It has a res cost, whatever. But this was never a playable card. Because the difference between Magnum Opus for a corporation and a Magnum Opus for a runner is night and day. Just having infinite money as a corporation does not win you the game. And again, it just doesn't win you the game. There's no way, barring some really minimal, really strange things, to like directly translate having infinite credits into a win. But let alone, this isn't infinite credits, right? Like if you're clicking this for 6 on your turn, right? Like you could just as well do a Melange Mining Campaign, which again was never really a competitive card post the core set. This lets you click for 7. At least the other one, you have some flexibility. You don't have to spend your whole turn doing it. But this is all quite bad. And I hope it's obvious to you that if just getting 6 credits a turn as a corporation is not doing enough for your board state to push yourself anywhere near a win, let alone modernly, even if you want to do something like this, we have something way better than Magnum Opus, which is Regulus Mining License. You install this, click it twice, like you've spent your whole turn to gain 4 credits. That's on par with the Capital Investors, but this is click for 3. It's better than Magnum Opus. Admittedly, it's not infinite, but at this point, why would you want it to be infinite? So that's what we're trying to do here, is build a bad thing in corporation. So we're already like starting a bit of a uphill thing, but it's kind of a joke, right? This is not where we're really like, we're not breaking anything here. We're just trying to do something that maybe we could consider to be a bit cursed. Emergent Creativity Monolith is a beautiful thing. I don't think I've ever installed a monolith, and I think that makes me a dick. Oh, Solmir says, I've never honestly installed a monolith, and I said that I never made it a reality. You're also a dick. Welcome to the club. Only 3 clicks per turn for the corp, huh? Yeah, only 3 clicks. That's not the biggest deal. It's just still, like, as a corp, you have to do stuff. You can't just put down 3 breakers and have infinite money. Like, you still have to win the game somehow. And back then, there were ways like C-Source into Scorched Earth. Hold on, I have to do this. That didn't work. This was a way, technically, to have... that didn't work either. To like win off of infinite credits if you had more money than them, but like this doesn't work anyway. This is not a real card. Technically, we do have threat level alpha. Threat level alpha podcast in the house. But again, single tag doesn't win you the game. Check this. How's it going, Andre? Happy Thursday. Multiple updates to share on the TCU front. Rita and Diana are bad at finding keys, but good at kicking and spell blasting summon monsters to death. That sounds about good. Also just got some new to me, Too Many Bones, Loot, Tink, Gilly, Gasket, Splice, and Dice. Any tips for Tink? I love Tink. I think Tink is one of my favorite. I don't understand why people think Tink is difficult. Tink basically puts these things like turrets, and then you customize the turret and put them in front. They're fantastic. Auto attack just deals with everything. I think they're immune to all status effects largely. They take aggro for you to put them in the way. I think Tink is so fun. I would have to look. I haven't played Tink in a while though. I'd have to look at the mat, but like basically any of the damage stuff is really quite good. It also has, I think it's called Air Horn, that just does like blanks the card, blanks the chip, the enemy chip, which is obviously an incredibly powerful status effect. Tink is good. I generally don't attack a lot with Tink. I just put him on the back line, boost dex, maybe defense, just so I can roll more bones, and then just go turret, go. Tink also has a stun. It's just good. Tink's so good. Oh, I also don't know if you heard, Too Many Bones is increasing the price of all products, or Chip Theory games, I mean, in general, just because they're probably not making a lot of money. So get your stuff now before the price goes up. I think that's what they're doing. Like everything's going up $20 because they're like, we haven't increased our price in like 5 years, and that's not sustainable. We doing news after the game today? Some good news this week. Yeah, we are. We definitely are. Also, good stuff on that TCU. Innsmouth is still going well on our front. Looks like the dream. Oh, I don't know if you also saw. MJ was on a podcast recently and has a lot to share. Why is this doing all the work matching Oaktown and not playing Red Plant Couriers? Did they not ban that card? No, they didn't. Oh, yeah, you're right. You could. But then we need Biotic Labor. But we have Trickle Light. I'll talk about the rest of the deck. Sorry, in a second. Wait, we're playing Jinja and Dedicated Technician Team. Could someone explain me the strategy on this one? No, not really. We have Jinja, so we can get a lot of ice down, because ideally we res all our ice super cheaply because we're getting free advancement counters, with Oaktown Renovation being face up, our only face up agenda, don't talk about it, and SSO Industries, which gives you free advancements, which means that all our 900 copies of Nebula will be 3 credits to res. That's cool, I guess, sort of. I'm not even convinced it is. But then we also have Designated Technician Team as a 3 of, so that once we get to installing our 5th ice with Jinja, we'll do it for free. Yeah, it's not good. It's not really not good. It's gonna be fun. Not allowed to install Mimic or Data Sucker with it. Wait, what? Infinite money used to be a guaranteed win. It really was. It was weird. I never really thought about Modern Elite. No, it's not. And like that was the weird thing, is like I remember specifically people getting played targeted marketing. I never know how many T's are in this. But someone play targeted marketing and it'd say paperclip, and it'd be like, haha, if you play your paperclip, I gain 10 credits, I win. And then you play their paperclip and then they lose because you have a paperclip and they have 10 credits, right? Like there was having infinite money in so many games that you have played of Netrunner does not linearly, if not at all, sometimes translate into success. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Looks like something to repeatedly click in the absence of IT department. Can we pretend there's no news today? Why? What? This looks like one of those decks that makes front page to low-key troll, Andre. Was he not talked about OTG? No, I haven't talked about OTG. I heard the money increase from CTG. Looks like they got in with the latest order. Oh, heck yeah. Not yet, Eric. The format's deck of the week, then news. Eric, get with the program. Then jail. Although you already missed Politics Corner. We did a bit of Politics Corner. And I'm not very qualified at it, but we did it. Anyways, SSO Industry. This ID has really lost its footing. It used to be a bit more playable. Obviously, the strength of this is directly tied to how many face-up agendas are within standard rotation. Right now, there's like 2. So it's bad. But we also have 3 CVSs. Why? But why? That's all I'm going to say. We have all of the asteroid ice, which is cool. We can play because it's rotating soon, but not Orion. And I don't like having 3 of this asteroid ice just because like trying to score out or protect, mind you, an Oaktown renovation early behind like a Nebula is pretty shit. Because Trash Program doesn't do anything. All this stuff dies to Boomerang. And Wormhole as a 3 of is also kind of really rough. Because for this to be good, it has to be kind of positional. Maybe that's not too hard with Jinja. Mind you, we have no card draw in the deck whatsoever. And Jinja loves card draw. Like, you know, play the sprint, pay Spin Doctor, anything. But we can score from hand a bit with Trickle Light. Never forget that somehow mass commercialization and government takeover are both on the same ban list as Sensi. Pure injustice. No, Eric, I agree with those ones. I didn't like that deck at all. I don't want to play against that, man. You know what can leave? Red Planet Couriers. They can ban that. Ban that one, and I'll support it. We need a double ban for Sensi. We kind of do. Sensi, I'm so glad I haven't played against it in a while. Man, yeah. I'm like convinced And a lot of people are not going to like this because obviously hard-hitting news is good for competitive Netrunner, but I'm pretty sure there's so many of these like busted cards. Maybe Sensi wouldn't fix it, but I'm pretty sure like hard-hitting news, if it had the only be played if the court runner had 3 credits or 3 agenda points in their score area, would make that a much more reasonable. But again, I think hard-hitting news is good for competitive play. It's just really, really bad for casual play. Corp deck. Magnum Corpus. This is not a serious deck. This is going to go terribly because specifically Eric is going to queue into this. And we're going to have a terrible time. But maybe. To be honest, I don't mind government takeover at all. I also don't think mass comms is annoying, but fine. Mass comms is silly. There is no reasons why mass comms. I do not like mass comms. 0 credits is. I'm not getting into this. I feel like I'm getting baited into a conversation about mass comms again. It's been a year. We've been good. Why didn't they just spell the red plant couriers? I don't know. Yeah. You see this? You see what's happening? Oh, let's go play the Magnum Opus deck against Eric's tier 1 Shaper. Oh, tier 1 diversion of funds 3 times. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. We've had a good stream. Maybe YouTube will fix this stuff next week. Hey. How's it going? Okay. Oh, that's good. Slowly watch a man deflate on the internet. If we had style takeover turn 1, we'll get diversioned. Man, asteroid belt technically ends the run. I'm keeping this. I can't diversion if you have infinite money. We spend our whole turn clicking for 6 and they just take it away for 2 clicks. It'll be fine. Mass comms is only really good with SSO. No, but the like competitive mass comms deck was built to last. I think mass comms is so much better with built to last. Not so much better, but pretty much better. Would you like to give Steve a dough for a deep dive? I stopped Netrunner when I went Nisa, and I remember back at the time as Corp, I was afraid of crim cards that delete your money. So infinite money doesn't win you the games, but no money loses the game. Yeah, Vorask, for what it's worth, you're thinking of account siphon, which was very mean, but specifically very mean because it came with all the recursion. The version of funds is like the modern FFG version of that. It's still quite good. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing. Points at mass comms, which is just money. No, stop it. It's different. Don't make me have arguments that are always cogent. Oh, great. All right, well, rock and roll. I'll find you a stream link for this NBA game, Andre. You can watch the greatest Slovenian athlete of all time. Heck yeah. Afshar? Yeah, technically they lose a credit. They know what they need to break in now, which is obviously the bad part, but like if we didn't res, they would get another credit. So that was a 2 credit swing on us resing. Part of mass comms issue currently is that it costs 0 to play and you can't play e-compression, keep it a card quickly rebound. Yeah, I wish it cost X. I really kind of wish it cost X, where X was the amount of advancements you had and then gave you 3 times X or whatever the math works out to. Are they going to go get their Amakua? Yeah. And Amakua is down. Now, luckily, Amakua will eat it against the Nebula. But everything else here is terrible. Oh, that was not what we wanted. I'm worried that they're going to diversion us through the Afshar. And if they do that, we lose the game. So maybe we should consider that a bit better. Maybe we should just worry about that. The thing is, like, we're still really weak to Boomerang. Good thing you have 3x CVS in the deck. Actually, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Paperclip's also in the bin. We gotta watch out. Stuff with X's, the cost is always way cooler. I had that realization. Did we Nebula them? I had that realization when, because I'm working on my own Netrunner set. I had way too many cards with X on it that I actually had to like back it up. Get him! P9 to trash in Amakua. Oh, feels so good. We're destitute. We are financially ruined. Why put the version of it? Do it to yourself. Don't worry, we'll get a Magnum Opus. We'll fix this. Pay 9 for Rototurret. Technically, Rototurret wouldn't have worked. Remember when you would also have to pay 1 for 4 and 9 for the right to protect against Turtle Doof, and then the Corp grant you with the Pat Tap? Oh yeah, I was there. I had a good time the whole time. Click for 3. We'd really like our Magnum Opus here. Okay, cost X, gain X times 3 would be strictly more interesting. That's true for sure. Yeah, I like X a lot. I think I would over design on X. That's I think definitely for sure. Sorry, wait. Oh, I can't. Wait. Oh yeah. Strictly better. Yeah. I'll allow it. You have to come out on top. You have to show that you are that you're being gracious the whole time. Our deck has a fair few agendas because we have a lot of 3-2s. I think there's like 10 or 11 agendas in the deck. 11, yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. Preemptive action. I think we have 3 of these. Oh, 2. Okay. That's a bit better. All right. The Miss Bones is coming down, so the Jinja has to be like really well protected. Otherwise, we're going to lose it immediately. Aren't you playing Nat's champion? Not sure I'd let it take actions back. I hear you. And we all have to hold everyone up to a higher standard. I can't speak about that. Yeah, the cool thing about being set up here is that, like, if we win a game against Eric doing good stuff, like, we'll feel really good against ourselves, and then like it's kind of like we win no matter what, right? Because if we die terribly, we're like, oh well, yeah, that makes sense. Clicking for credits. I get why the government takeover red planet courier deck isn't fun to play against, but it was the first real combo deck that I learned to play, so I have a soft spot in my heart. It was really frustrating to play against, and I think really polarized. It was not a fun game to watch, or play. Like, so much of it came down to, like, you know, did they find it? Their government takeover. Res the border control here. They can break it. Oh, I forgot they can break it actually trivially. Yeah. Shit, I forgot they had the paperclip. What is they doing? They misbones this. And we're off. What got this one to Decks of the Week anyway? Just a funny description? I don't know. I don't know how that works. We just probably had like the majority of conversation. They're gonna be on 4 credits. They probably have inside jobs considering they have Swift in their deck, so run events definitely seem really good. They play 2 bravado, no inside job, no boomerang. So how to make this remote safe is actually quite tricky. I think if anything, we want the Afshar on the remote because that's the one thing they like actively can't deal with. And then if they inside job, we could Afshar border control. So like we could digital rights management. We'd probably do it next turn. We'll see. This is also gonna be really expensive, but ideally if we stick the agenda, this will be resable. Oh, pat tap, that's fine. That's fine. We can afford to deal with this. And they're halfway through their deck. Okay, we've only drawn like 10 cards. So we could install the 4-2 advance. Mad Dash is out. So install the 4-2 advance would put us on, well, we have to play this, so we go down to 2. Advance would put us on 4. We can't res both of these, because this would be 6 credits. They'll get one from pad tap, which is obviously kind of bad. I feel like this is going to be exactly, because again, we don't have a lot going on in the deck in terms of like defense, that we're going to I think Eric can safely let us get to 3 points, maybe even like more than that, and then just we will have no chance. There's a chance that Surveyor border control remote could do it in the late game. I have a bit of that kind of doubt going on, but how much does it cost to break? 3 credits? Wait, this thing re-res for 9, they break for 3 credits? That's disgusting. Oh wait, we don't even have hedge fund? Are you serious? Oh my god, we don't have hedge fund. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is our magnum opus will trigger the pat tap. Oh boy. And now we have to go a bit sooner. Like, why? Falsified. Ginger City, yeah, gain 5, makes sense. Everything we put in the remote server is an upgrade, right? That's the easiest deck to do this to. Because again, everything is an upgrade. We have nothing to put in a remote server besides agendas. We'll res the Afshar, they lose a credit. This is painful? Yeah. The fact that this deck is dedicated technician team and not hedge is wild. Yeah, I know, it's weird, but this is not like a serious deck. This is a bit of a joke. Oh, Asteroid Belt, sick. Honestly, we can, if they leave the Jinja on the table, we can get there. The thing is, if we do this advance, we'll be on, like, we're 1 short of resing the Asteroid Belt. Every deck runs Rozaki, so every corp needs to be super fast. Yep, I think that's accurate. I'm not sure why they're not going R&D yet. Paperclip breaks for 5. That's actually kind of expensive. Haven't got diversioned yet. We cleverly dodge it by making our main econ card the powerhouse. There's dedicated technician team has 3. The thing is, like, technician team with, oh, that's really bad. With Amina is really bad. Okay, so this is the issue. They know we can't res this, and now they can break the server for pennies. Literally 3 credits, we lose 1. Oh, this is so bad. The thing is, like, we should have conceded when the game started, right? Overwrite the Afshar? We can. The thing is, like, this is still very good. Like, the break cost for Afshar is not that different from the break cost of Wormhole, right? Like, they break for 4 on Wormhole, they break 2 on Afshar. Even though Jinja, you have to stack server 5 T dice to make more credits than hedge fund. Yes, of course. Yeah, no, it's not good. All right, we lost to Jinja, so furthest we've gone. Cool thing is, like, the Afshar on HQ is still 4 credits to break, and we won't lose a credit because they can't break all of it. Losing the credit's gonna hurt. It's gonna not be great. I don't think it's our biggest worry. So this is gonna cost them. They'll be on 8 credits. This will be 5. This is 6, 7, and this is 9. We'd have to give them the border control. I think we just see if we can get this on the table. There's no way that they let us have this. I think we get diversion right here. Now we have infinite money, right? Yeah, we're good. Oh, gamble. Okay, that's bad. We lose. I'm worried about diversion, honestly. I'm surprised that you didn't just divert HQ. So res is for 3. It's the cheapest it's gonna get. So we have 1 credit. Okay. The thing is, we could end the run now and score an Oaktown renovation. The thing is that if we pop this border control, I don't know what it'll take for us to install. We have to. I just would rather have a remote here. If they have inside job in hand, oh my god, it's bad. Oh, we got it. We're slightly more infinite money than we were clicking for credits nonstop. This is better than clicking for credits. Let me tell you. The shame, though, is, like, we cannot keep this on the table. Like, if we had Jinja 5 ice, okay. Jinja 4 ice, though. Hey, we magnum opused once. Look at us go. The tech team is actually playable. It's actually kind of playable here. Oh, Nana, what'd you get? Yeah, there you go. There she is. All right, we were perfectly on 5 credits. And this is going to happen. And then Steve is going to trigger and they're going to get 2 bravados back. And then you just lose. So this at least is 4 credits for them. But they're going to get 5 back. Meowdy Wayne, how's it going? Hello. Fire out. Oh, yeah. And now we are destitute. They'll have enough money to play bravado if they want. I think they can bravado R&D. I'm pretty sure that Eric is just going to camp the remote server, though, until he gets some sort of pressure out. I'm assuming it's deep dive. And I don't think we can afford to put a border control on a central server. Oh. Well, we can't even score that. All right. Oh, boy. So how can we get out of this? This we res, and it's technically gains you a credit. So it's like a click for a credit if it survives. If Eric runs it, like, that's fine. Obviously, the Afshar is a bit annoying because we actually will lose a credit. Hey, Schmendrix, how's it going? Anybody stateside taking tomorrow off for the 4-day weekend? What's on Monday in America? Oh, overclock, nice. We had our 3-day weekend last weekend. Okay, we lose a credit. They trash this for free. I thought America, you just had a long weekend. Wasn't it like Patriots Day or no? That's what they call it in Montreal or in Quebec. It's le jour de Patriotes, Memorial Day. Oh, can't even score this. Cannot even score this. I think we don't even want to score this, considering like going to 4 agenda points doesn't really change how many agendas we need to score out. We're only at 2 hostiles anyway, so if we score this, it has no impact on us winning at all. They're on 14 credits. They're getting 1 in credit turn. They have all their breakers. Like, we have no tricks here besides like trying to build out into a Doom rig, which at that point it's not looking that great. I think it's time to concede. I know we should. I don't want to, but we should. I think we should have to keep putting things in the remote server. The issue is going to be if we're forced to score this. Why is Steve in the game? I don't know. I think Nisei wanted this to be like interesting because criminals kind of need something that's a bit interesting. I don't like Steve at all. I think he's actually quite boring. I think we talked about this last week. Like, if Steve had to choose 2 different things, I think it'd be interesting. Is it harder to concede to Eric? No. No, I don't think Eric is proving anything here. Whenever I play Corp, I get crapped on. And I don't even know why anyone plays Corp right now. Yeah, I don't know if I would say exactly that, but I think we've had some bad Eric might appreciate it. I think we've had some bad experiences over the last couple weeks. All right, so they have 2 pad tap. Luckily, we have no econ cards in our deck besides Oaktown Renovation. Yeah, we have no econ cards. Yeah, I always hating on Steve. I really don't like Steve. All right, if we don't have money, we can't get the version. Who are your top 3 runners and top 3 corps? Like for competitive reasons? I gotta move my face. There's another Zeki there. Like my favorite or what I think is the best? Oh, 3rd pad tap. That's fine. I'll be interested in seeing the stats for runner, corp, favorite, and standard. You can check them out, right? Like, isn't R&D interface still accessible? That gives you access to like the stats behind JNet. So if we click to 4, we're gonna get diversioned. I really hope Corp gets some other ways to put runners on the ropes in Midnight Sun. Yeah, this is the thing that I'm getting really frustrated though, is like, I feel like 90% of the games that I've played over the last 2 months has just been 3 pat taps, 3 Rizekis, and then, you know, whatever fun little, you know, baubles your faction brings with you. But like, I feel like so much of the game is just this. And so the Corp can't win against this unless you go really quickly. It feels Corp favorite to me, but I really have no concrete idea. We'll check out the R&D interface after. Yeah, I think we should just concede. This is not good television, huh? Skunk Void is hard countered by Light the Fire. I haven't seen if that's actually played out. GG. Which criminal ID do you wish they kept instead? You too. Wish they kept instead. I don't honestly know. Geist. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's Geist. It's always Geist. I totally forgot that Geist was an option. It's hard to think of Geist as a criminal, let's be honest. But yeah, it's always Geist. It will always be Geist forever. But otherwise, like, yeah, I don't think. What are all the criminal identities? This is not gonna work. I found Steve super exciting since you can play really heavy event tempo-based decks, but then they added Rizeki Mega Buff Pad Tap, so it works on take credit cards. Yeah, it doesn't feel like, I don't know. Like the whole, I like playing criminal when it's, you know, the Onacom package. But it doesn't. Yeah, it's just backed up so much more by everything else. Like you have a bit of the slow camp and a bit of the long camp, and then it just kind of all feels the same to some extent. I don't think that's a okay. Let's do criminal. Let's see identities. Type identity. Obviously 419. Oh, thank you, Xrine. Hey, Cephalopod. Final class stream. What's happening tonight? I want to try some Acme with some Sigma Launch. See if we can stick a fly on the wall. Bring back Leela? I don't think so. I don't think Leela is actually quite good for the game. Well, she's good for the game, but she's very frustrating to play against for a lot of decks. Ooh, is my R&D interface not working, or is everyone's R&D interface not working? I think Andy is also very quite boring. I don't like any of the identities that just have like either passive stats or like starting the game stats. Like I find Valencia to be incredibly uninteresting. Okay, so this is probably Firefox. Hold on. But in terms of the criminal IDs, the ones that I think are actually interesting, it's weird how that is, right? Criminal's weird. Cause like, okay. Holy moly, under the deck, what does it do? How does it win? It's not a competitive deck, Eric. It's a meme deck. It's to get Magnum Opus. Ian is cool. Ian is cool, but like Ian is peak Rizeki Pad Tap, right? Like this is all Ian is. I think the Ian theme is fun. I think, okay, so what I really like is when an identity comes out and it changes how you deck build and how you play. I think a large problem right now with 80%, 90% of the criminal pool, they're all the same, right? Like none of it really matters that much, right? Like that last game could have been Steve, it could have been Andy, it could have been 419, it could have been Leela to some extent. You can play different Leelas, which I think is interesting. It could have been technically Los, sort of. It could have been Zaya. It would have changed nothing. I don't think you'd make any like meaningful changes to the deck besides take out 5 cards, right? Put Liza in system update. Yeah. Silhouette, not really. That's what I think is a bit of a bummer, is that like there's all this criminal space, but the way that they actually play out is largely the same. Now there's obviously some huge outliers. Like I think Az can play different. Technically that deck could have been Az. He just wouldn't have been great. But like Geist obviously plays wildly different. Ken, nah, sort of enough. Khan, if Khan worked, Laramie, if Laramie worked, Liza is totally different for sure. Nero, like there's a bunch of these that don't have any like packages that came along with them that were strong enough to like really warrant exploring them. But we saw Nero deck last week, which was really cool. So that's kind of the issue, and it's a bit different. It's not that like every other faction is that different of it. I think Criminal has like the highest highs and the lowest lows, or excuse me, like I think the delta between different IDs playing different is actually relatively high. I don't think you see that big deltas outside of like maybe what's his name? Who's the shaper that loses credits when they res? What's his name? Nasir Maidan, right? Thank you. Yeah, Nasir. Right, like this is what I like better. Or like Professor. And admittedly, Professor doesn't have a different play style, but I like these better, where like the identity you choose isn't just like a little bit of a sprinkling of value on top of the same deck. Silhouette is a fun idea. Yo, Daijin, how's it going? Silhouette is cool. It's just not very good. Like this ability, they made it obviously stronger with 419. For what it's worth, I think Blackguard is a heck of a card, and the criminal I currently have in that I've been designing for the set, and hopefully we'll be able to show that relatively soon, has a Blackguard type ability built into the identity, because I think that ability is quite cool. Blackguard's a heck of a card. Valley Winter has lasted a long time. Yeah, it feels like that. It really feels like that. So like, how much different is it if you go to a different faction? I don't know. Like a lot of Anarchs end up playing the same modernly still too. Like you still have that value over time stuff. Like if you look at Anarch, which ones of them radically play different? Max, but only specifically Virus Max. Like there's a Max that plays different, but otherwise all of them like kind of play the same too. That's weird. Not good, but it was a neat idea for an ID. Very criminal. It's fun, yeah. But like none of these, like Freedom does play different, especially the Freedom decks that were like very virus heavy. Those play different. That's the sort of deck that I'm really excited for. Alice is a cool ability, but she inherently doesn't have to play different. She's basically just like, you know, like it could be a resource that has that text on it. It really doesn't change much. There's a Freedom with Lou and Knob decks. Yeah, that's kind of the same. Yeah, Freedom with the sort of virus engine. Noise played radically different. I love these sort of IDs that actually are different, right? Like Reyna doesn't really do much. Omar is a rebirth target. Quetzal is not something to really build into. And Val and Wizard are some of like the worst examples where every deck is the same. On Shaper, I don't know if it's that much better. Nat too, yeah. The thing is, like Nats, I don't believe in Nat. I don't believe in that. Like I don't think that actually is a playstyle. Like if your playstyles have fewer cards to gain a credit a turn or 2 credits, whatever it is, like okay, cool, Rizeki. Like that's again, it's like if it's just to get an extra credit a turn, Rizeki, let's go. Smoke plays wildly different. Jasminder does play different. Haley had a different engine, like Aesop's Haley, Pawn Shop stuff. Like that was fun. Exile technically better as Haley, you know what I mean. Nasir is really cool. Professor's really cool. Kit's really cool. Like these all play differently. Even Tau like is an interesting ability, even though you can just play like standard Shaper. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. But like I think that's been a problem. I guess the problem is the word for it. But you've heard so many people talk about this. Like this is my criminal list. I just played Az, or like this is my criminal list. I played Steve. It could be Zaya. Like it just doesn't have that much of an impact, which is a bit of a bummer. I'm interested to see how that changes. Some of the ideas could have a more unique playstyle if they had more interesting cards that were meant to work with it. Like if Tau got a card that rewarded you for having a bunch of the same type of ice on the server, something like that. Yeah, exactly. That's really, really quite cool. And again, like I don't mean to make this like a huge criticism towards Nisei, because again, Nisei had to like release Welcome to the Game set, and then they've needed to reestablish the card pool so they have the basis of the startup format and you know all of that. So like they need to put that fundamentals. They're not going to be like, oh, here's our first runner, and it's like, you know, Professor 3.0 meets Nasir. Like it's not going to make a lot of sense. So like it's hopefully coming with time, which is why I'm really excited to see the Midnight Sun. And so far, what we've seen of the Midnight Sun booster pack is really cool because they're cards that are flexible and interesting. Like again, Revolver works in a lot of archetypes. It's really cool, but you actually have to build into it. So the decks that play Revolver feel different. Either that or every shaper's going to play it. I'm not sure. Well, we'll do another one. We haven't hit Magnum Opus. I'm going to hit Magnum Opus. Sorry. Why play ID with synergy card when you could just play strong, robust value cards instead? No, I know. That's kind of going to be the issue going forward to some extent, is like, why would, like, that's why, again, I love that As deck. I love Geist decks because they were decks that would not play, have a good reason not to play Rizeki and Pad Tap, right? Because they're just playing a totally different game. And that's what I want more of. I think that's what's interesting in Netrunner to me. We're in the transition to more interesting, innovative mechanics with a new lead designer. Exactly, yeah. And like, I know it's going to come. We just, right now, it's a bit like, oh, you're also playing Pad Tap, I see. XL games where you constantly sell MK Ultras was really different. It was fun. It was fun. It was admittedly still partly better with Haley, but I really liked, like, I don't know if you played Pawn, like Chess Pawn Exile. Like, that was cool. That was really cool. Nothing really played like it. If the synergy cards don't specifically take up deck slots, though. Didn't specifically take up deck slots? What do you mean? More like poor Cyber Cypher. Can you imagine Tau stacking code gates with that? Yeah, Tau with Cyber Cypher would be really fun. That would be cool. Oh, Loper's playing. Sick. This is our, I didn't know he still played. So little ice matters regarding positioning. I don't think that's entirely true. Admittedly, like Nisei is cracking down on that. They want to have less of that generically good ice. And so you saw a lot of the like on res ability or on D-res ability ice. And you're seeing more positionally interesting ice. And you're seeing less like slot machines and Engram flushes and more like, I don't think Diviner and Karuna is going to sell you on it, but you know what I mean. Give all the bad IDs directives. Yeah, I guess that is something that I have a couple cards in the set that I'm working on. This is something that's existed in Lord of the Rings LCG and in Arkham LCG. The cards that are called contracts, which you can include, and they give you different abilities, like ongoing abilities or active abilities that are attached to your identity that start the game in play, as long as you have reached a certain condition with deck building. And I think they're very interesting. They came out in the last cycle Lord of the Rings LCG and they just blew open deck building, like totally wide. So the idea is like, oh, you can start playing a singleton deck and actually get a benefit where that singleton deck seems interesting. And so then like singleton Shaper, singleton Anarch, singleton Criminal, singleton, like it blows open the design space by just adding a card that's very flexible. And I like that. I'll again, I'm working on something. I'll hopefully be able to show y'all quite soon. Like imagine a Seer could have Order of Soul either start and play or playable from a sort of command zone. Yeah, that sort of thing. They're just making more playable. How's the Lord of the Rings LCG? I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nut, but never looked at the game. Parallel, it's a nice time to pick it up because they just did a revised core set. It's I don't know if you played Arkham, but it's Arkham's kind of based on it. It's a cooperative game. As a solo game, it's also quite strong. But the idea is that you'd have deck building. You build a deck, and there's some really cool mechanics with the deck building where each character has a certain threat. And the stronger your starting characters are, the closer you are to the end game, and the sooner enemies will engage you. It's a really neat system. But the big difference is that it's not as campaign heavy, where there's not like an ongoing narrative and decisions impact you as much as Arkham Horror by any extent. But the thing that's really interesting, especially if you like deck building, is that scenarios wildly vary of what's necessary for you to win. So like, for instance, we just played a scenario in which normally you quest with willpower. It's a stat on characters that helps you push through the story. And this one is just, it's a battle. So you quest with attack. So now all the willpower cards in our deck are more kind of useless. So then we had to rebuild our decks for one single scenario. And it becomes a puzzle game like that, which really incentivizes deck building, understanding the problems and creatively coming up to solutions. A lot of people, some people don't like deck building, would just be like, give me an Arkham deck and I'll play it. Probably not for them, but I've been really enjoying it. I've been playing a fair bit. We've been picking up almost all the collection. Hey, thanks. You too. Oh, I'm out of breath. Lord of the LCG is extremely deep lore-wise? I don't know about that. But again, I'm not too deep into that part of it. Sounds a bit like Companion MTG, which is super toxic. The toxic part about Companion MTG, though, is there's an extra card in your hand. Ideally, this should be balanced, where it comes with a downside. From my understanding, Companions are just a full upside. Mulligan. Jinja. Nice is okay. What are we mulliganing into, though? Like hedge fund? No. That's what I like to hear. If you read the Similarian, you'll recognize a ton of stuff. Yeah, everything is like from the Lord of the Rings world. And so characters also get really well explored because there's different spheres, which are like the different factions. So there'll be like a criminal Aragorn, but also there'll be like a shaper Aragorn who plays differently. So it's cool to see like the characters that you know get explored that heavily. It's neat. Consistency versus cost was the ultimate problem. From my understanding, there was no reason not to play companions though, because there was no downside. Okay, we need to make the stick. What's our last click? Install credit, I guess. I do not know what this is going to do. It'd be interesting if an ice type was based on where it was in the server, and also the subroutines changed based on how much ice in that server. I think that stuff's cool, right? Like you saw a bit of that with Pat Taps. Or Rozekis, excuse me. You saw a bit of that with like well, you're seeing more positional ice where that does definitely matter. I think numeration of how deep an ice on a server is, like if it's the second or it's the third, that gets a bit complicated because I don't think everyone agrees what positions are numbered. I don't think it's actually that well defined in the rules, but things like surveyor, like that's the closest you get to that, right? All right. So they built a magnum opus on turn 1, right? Magnum opus SMC, let's go. Do we want to throw out our whole hand to score an atlas? I don't think so. Nebula, fantastic, unresable, but at least the order here is good. Asteroid belt, fantastic. And now we just need an agenda. Eventually. Companions turned out to be a real problematic part of non-interaction. The deck restriction was easily mitigated, especially for the good companions. I didn't know they had deck restrictions. Getting a weak one errata toned some of it down, but not much. I don't know enough about... Oh, okay. Well, hey, we're here. I don't know too much how companions work. From my understanding, they were just good, though. Card advantage was end good, but starting with a specific card is nutty broken. You can't interact with companion in the companion zone. Was it because decks no longer needed to respond to their opponent because their own gameplay was more consistent? Well, that's the fastest Hushuk I've seen. Well, that's just basically a maker's eye that they only access one card, so I don't think we're upset about this. They'd probably take the Atlas. Actually, this deck is really good at scoring Azev, considering we have way more ice than we need. But yeah, I don't follow Magic the Gathering that closely, so I can't really say anything insightful about companions. Free Magnum with DDM turn 2? I know, look at that. They take the Atlas. Yeah, I guess so. That technically gives us more value. Nebula. Keep in mind, interaction is optional in Magic, depending on the format and how fast and hard you're going. That's a good surveyor. So how many of this ice can we res? 2? Good enough. All right, 10 strength. Seems good. Oh, falsified. Guess agenda. Nailed it. Falsified's a really good card for anyone who wants to camp remotes. Each companion wants you to build your deck a certain way. No cards with automatic cost. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, that's cool. So that's very similar to how contracts work in Lord of the Rings or Arkham. Maybe they are busted inherently. I don't know. The ones in Arkham are really cool because they really do blow up deck building. But they're not like clearly all upsides. Like a lot of them are very like downside heavy. Yeah, totally. Hey, totally. I can let you know if it's easier. Descending. Surveyor. They boomerang us, we lose. Surveyor. Nebula. Asteroid belt. No. Nebula. No. The bottom is my little secret. You need a dedication technician team? Wait, did we pay money for these installs? We're chumps. Yeah, you're right. We need a technician team ASAP. I don't know if we're going to put a 6th ice on here. A border control would have been good. I guess we might pay for that privilege. Do we have another drip deck? So let us wager on what to expect. Too late, third Rozeki? Well, yeah. But again, like, if you want to play Cabin SOU to get your Rozekis on turn 1, I get it. Just Space, how's it going? I went away for 5 minutes to come back to the Dark Tower. Yo, Ginger's a hell of a drug. Chase 10 seems good. Yeah, it's okay. Here we have another drip deck. Excuse me, I already read that. That's fine. That's fine. Companions and contracts are kind of the same idea. It's a toxic space, but if you're under the line, I think they're probably cool stuff and fun to be had. Magic's ultimate problem with the companion was to push them in design, so somewhere way over the line. Oh, okay. The thing is, like, looking at things like Arkham Horror and Lord of the Rings, if something is really overpowered, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, there is a taboo list that keeps these things in check, like a most wanted list that erotis things and stuff like that. But like, it's a cooperative game. Like, it's a single player game even. So it doesn't matter. Like, if something's busted, who cares? Okay, this lets us get our magnum opus, and we will use the magnum opus to lose to a second Hushuk. Contracts sound like they understand you can't put power into that space. Also, co-op, yeah, exactly. It's different than versus 100%. 15 credits, Earthrise Hotel. I see we're both playing a good game in Netrunner. Okay, I do want to ice up R&D, and I think we will pull the Atlas for the fast advance piece. This honestly might not do anything. The Nebula might not do anything. Like, do we put an after on R&D? Because again, this is why this ice is really awkward. It doesn't do anything if they don't run your Doom server. Oaktown. Let's pull a digital rights manager. Okay, place advancements. I'll get there. Yeah, okay, barrier. Square 7 blow up something random. It's not amazing. I'm assuming if they had something really important, they would play it. Maybe they're waiting for MU, but like we're trying to hit deep dive or Hushik maybe. But like I'd rather do this button because this gets us the 6 credit savings on all of our ice. We need this. Blow up the Jinja. Yeah, we need to get the stick because like again, our SSO ability is like really dependent on this. This saves us a lot of money over time. We have 8 credits actually. That's not a lot. That is just enough. We're gonna do it. We're gonna magnum opus. The issue is like we have to delete this to install the next magnum opus or whatever. So that's the belt. Correct. Yeah, it's really annoying. You should post the notes on your screen. I have no idea what the breaker suite's gonna be. Like they only have 1 MU. We haven't seen a console. We haven't seen like a Mayfly or anything. If they're playing Hushik, like I'm expecting what comes in on 2. No further access wormhole from HQ. They exposed them, so they know the innermost is Misfingo. So they know they have to deal with Sentry into barrier, or perhaps Sentry into this barrier, because this barrier is probably better. Time to add runner annotations to JNet. I haven't goofed with the annotations thing in the replay editor in a long time. I know they've added it. You're allowed to take notes. Just go ahead and take a marker. And like right next to East Peach Ice, you just put a little abbreviation. I played Meat Space Netrunner for the first time in a while last night. Hey, so many things to remember that JNet just does. It really helps. Oh, it is Mayfly. They're over MU. Whoa, they're gonna try Mayfly the remote server? They can do it. But like high strength stuff, like this is wow. That cost them as like how 9, 10, 11, and this is 5, 6. They can do it. They can afford it. Oh man, and we can't res a lot of this, and we're gonna lose this thing, which is really unfortunate. All right, they're just playing full control, but they can get through this, right? It's gonna be very expensive, but that at least they can't trash the Jinja. I think that's a good thing. It just doesn't actually matter once we're at 5 ice. All right, you did it. And now we lose to a Hushik or 2? But the issue now is we have no money. Please do not hit an agenda here. That would be so cruel. So cruel. Unbelievable. Oh, wait, okay. Lowering its install cost by 4. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would actually cost something. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the Nebula. No, that was skill. I swear JNet just hands agendas over sometimes. You got greedy? No, we didn't get greedy. How many ice? We've seen so many agendas in the top like 10 cards. It doesn't make any sense. I take no responsibility for what's happening here. It's actually really awkward because they could win. At least it's safer than HQ, I reckon. The problem is like we don't have enough money to res R&D, which is 3. So if they just like Hushik here, at least it only sees 3 cards. There's no guarantee the Oaktown was safe? No, there was no guarantee. Well, okay, the guarantee was like if they didn't install multiple programs, it seemed pretty safe. They had 19 credits, hadn't installed a program yet. So I was like, if it's a Mayfly, I assume it would be very expensive and probably worth the trade. Like if they only got 4 points, I think we'd be ahead there because we still have this hell remote. They trashed a Rizeki and they lost a Mayfly. The fact that they got the 6 points, so now they only have to run this once, it's a huge difference that they got luck after R&D. I'm worried about R&D, not about the remote server. Yeah, you see, like this is, we lose now. Just kidding. Damn, we're good. I'm glad that they trade like 18 credits to steal a 2-pointer in their remote server. Why not Dasty for more Atlas counters? We had an agenda in hand. We had the Azef, I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. Oh, well, that's good. There's only like 2 econ cards in our deck. This is one of them. This does me damage, so they can protect it by charging their whole hand. Probably not worth. Not a bad publicity. We can res this. As if dedicated technician team isn't an econ card. Excuse me. Sorry, we have 6 econ cards. Jinja's an econ card. Okay. Like, we could claw back. The problem is, again, like, all they need is, like, one burnout chip, one mayfly, and then we really need a border control in the remote server. We have no chance. As soon as we have a border control in the remote server, they have to find their third Hushik. Squeezing that whale inside from ONC. Yeah, this actually is, like, a really nice celebration of order and control. Order and chaos? What is it called? Before it rotates. Oh, Harmony, wow. With 22 cards on the stack, I don't love this. Probably going to put, you know, a Hushik back. Deuces. Falsified, maybe? But yeah, I don't love this card. When you just shuffle 5 cards into your deck, like, the chance of you drawing into one of those is kind of low. So was Hushik, Mayfly, Peace in Our Time, Sure Gamble, Creative Commission? I don't know, some of those cards are unplayable. Like, if they top deck them. I don't, it's up to 5, right? Yeah. You know, it also strikes me that Magnum Opus would not be a good card anymore if it's legal. I don't know. It actually worked out that it might be. Like, if you could stim hack out with Cabanessa Boom Magnum Opus on turn 1, it probably wouldn't be terrible. And then you just play like Engol or whatever. Like, I don't think it would be awful. Okay, so DRM means we can get our Oak down. So we could win. I guess we're going to score this. We're hoping to do some real damage. Choose an installed card to trash. Bye. They can prevent meat damage by trashing their whole hand. Probably don't want to do that. We're hoping to hit a Mayfly here or a Hushik. We had a Falsified and a DZ. Falsified's the best one. I don't think we've seen the hat on this one yet. Opus was rarely good even when it was. Early Netrunner was really quite good. I brought Magnum Opus to a Worlds many, many moons ago. In like Valencia or something with frantic coding. It was okay. It was good when like it was like against, I wasn't amazing against cerebral imaging, but against like controlling the message was fine. I don't know. They don't know we have a digital rights management, but this is a really astute play because it stops us from digital rights managing next turn to get the winning agenda. So running HQ once a turn, they saw it on the top of the deck, but it shuffles. So they don't know we have it. They just know we have 3 in the deck. Earthright's coming down. Like, man, if we top decked an agenda here, we can still. No, border control, we want that on the remote server. I just don't know if we can just afford to install 300. We really, oh, we actually can just win. Just winning is good too. If we like just top deck an agenda. Putting this in the remote server, they know we have this, but like baiting their remote server might be okay. They really need to run HQ once a turn. Oh, Peace in Our Time. Wow. So with 11 credits, like we need the, maybe we misplayed. Maybe we need the border control here. I think corps are too fast for Opus nowadays. They might be. The thing is, like, if you can get to that sort of control thing where like you've controlled the board, maybe at that point the game's over anyways, but you get there anyways with like Aeneas Informant, like Maw, Paperclip, Creative Commission. They're suddenly on 17 credits. Oh, but we win. We actually won the game. We undefeated with this deck on JNet. Good game. Yeah, there's nothing they could do. Good game. Yeah, it's not good. I don't think it's a surprise though. But yeah, Jinja is like, you can do goofy things with Jinja. I think a deck with just Jinja can go fine. Concedes don't count as losses? No, they're not. Thanks for the game. If you concede, you don't lose. If you concede, the game was incomplete. It's a DNF. Haven't played in years. Is Nintendo.net fully automatic now? Yo, El Guaja, maybe? It's been fully automated for maybe 2-3 years. It's really, really quite good. I think there's only like 1 card that is not fully automated out of like the whole hundreds of cards. But it's sick. Check out Jinteki.net if you haven't. It's great. JNet is like 99% for standard format. For standard format, I think it's like every single card is 100% automated besides the back. I will. Yeah, yo, let us know how it goes. It's really good. It's really, really quite good. Oh yeah, maybe for the older card pool, not everything is automated because those cards rotated before JNet came out. Let's talk about some news real quick. What's the hour right now? It's like 10? Yeah, okay. So Nisei announced 2 big things. I actually don't know about this one, but designing an upgrade for Netrunner DB. So, our faithful Netrunner DB has served us well for a long time. Thank you, Halcyon. But it's increasingly showing its age. As Nisei has grown, we have learned a lot about what it does well, what it does poorly, and what it's missing. Basically, they want to upgrade Netrunner DB. It's like a time capsule of early Web 2.0, so that probably means we're at Web 3.0 at this point. So I think NFTs? They know they've been upgrading Cobra over the last little while, which is really cool. So they're working on a brand new version of Netrunner DB. We've started with the API that powers the app and building things out in several phases. Here we're aiming for. So public API functionality that supports card pool search, format, ban list functionality. This is so cool. For what it's worth, Netrunner DB does have a public API that you can access. I've built a couple like Python scripts to like pull deck lists and try and build like deck trackers and stuff like that. It works. It probably could be easier. If you want to work with that stuff, if you probably want to work with the stuff, you knew it probably already exists. You go to the bottom, API. All the DB websites have this. So I built something recently out of the Lord of the Rings DB to like sort my binders. All the stuff is here if you want. All Midnight Sun cards will be apes, but then our apes were stolen. We can't release the set. New UI on top of this API for public functionality, including new support for community alt arts. That's super cool. Private API deck building functionality. Sick. New UI for private and community features. This is really quite cool. Not Web3. Interesting. We're working Nisei's organized play rules and EDI team to ensure the app is what we need. We also want to hear from you. And this is the biggest thing. If there's some things that you want from Netrunner DB, let them know. They're definitely collating all the ideas that people have talked to them about, seeing what they can do. But if there's something you want to do, I know I would love some deck tracking. I would love if you could merge Jinteki.net from Netrunner DB, because so often we make changes on one website and it doesn't make changes on the other website. We also used to have a deck tracker that worked on Twitch, and that's kind of broken right now because of the way that they've moved to these things, but apparently there's legacy code for this, for these like extensions. But anyways, let Netrunner DB know, let Nisei know, because they're definitely gonna be working on it. Fill out a survey. I did. Got to beg for ONR support. Oh, that's really cool. Anyways, let them know. That's really sick. I'm excited to see what Netrunner DB does, and I don't know how obviously it all is. Let's see all it. I don't know how obvious it is, but Netrunner DB has been such a big deal for so many people on the internet. And I don't even just mean Netrunner players. Like, it's every DB is a Netrunner DB clone. Like Rings DB. Okay. DB.co. Big meow, Nana. You want to say hi? They're all DBs. Like, I don't know. What are the other ones? What are the other DBs? Like, there's probably, 5 Rings DB? I don't know what it is. Anyways, they're all here. And it's all based off of LCN's code. It's all at the bottom, designed and built by LCN. Scryfall is the other DB. What's Scryfall? Magic the Gathering? Oh, it's the other. Okay, it's not LCN's. Okay. World Breakers DB is a clone? Oh, they have one. I didn't know that. Sick. Okay, 1 second. Arkham DB. Oh, of course, Max. I spent a lot of time on Arkham DB. I totally blanked. No, don't go anywhere. Okay. Maddie normally is home Thursday night on the couch with Nanako while we're streaming, but she had to go out. So Nanako is now alone and she doesn't know what to do. So she is sitting beside me and yelling at me, but she knows I'm streaming. Hello. Hi. Hello. Okay, you can go. Thank you. She was not happy about that. Anyways, LCN made these, and there's so many mirrors of them. And there's also like Netrunner mirrors. Like the Reboot project has its own Netrunner DB as well. Nice kitty. Oh, she's great. It's not very curated, but to be fair, it's also very new. It was made by some serious people. Kitty. Yeah, Doomtown DB is dtdb.co. I like that one. Cool. Anyways, check that out. Worldbreaker DB. That's so cool. Jinteki has a similar legacy too. I guess A&R players are the cool kids of the card games. Yeah, that's totally true. There's a bunch of like Jinteki.net clones for other games too. I'm not sure how many of them are. Like there's a Legend of the Five Rings Jinteki.net clone. Is the what's that game called? Keyforge? Does Keyforge have one too? Anyways, The other thing that was posted is Now Recruiting Web Content Editor. I haven't read through this fully yet, but Panther posted this. Basically, looks like Nisei's looking for someone for this sort of title. Reach out, get involved. Even if you think you might be a bit underqualified, I have no doubt Nisei would like to hear from you. They're a volunteer organization. They want any amount of help, I reckon. So just do reach out. None of the JNet clones are actually JNet clones. What do you mean by that? Dragon Cards is the Lord of the Rings one. It's really good. Came out like I think 2 years ago. It's really quite good. I don't know why R&D interface isn't working. Hold on, I'm gonna try and open this in Chrome so we can look at some stats. R&D interface, mind you, collates stats from JNet. It's a bit harder to look at. Mine is not loading at all. Oh, they're all Node.js based. JNet is actually Clojure. Okay. Yeah, none of my stats are loading. I have another window open up with Chrome, and I don't know if R&D interface is working for y'all, but I just have blank stuff. Okay, so we can't look at this right now. Hopefully sometime soon we can look at it. I don't know what the meta looks like. Like, you can always kind of look at always be running, but always be running doesn't show you like corp win rates versus runner win rates, right? I just picked her up, and now I got her fur everywhere because she's like really shedding because it's becoming summer. Yeah, now it's like really irritating my face. It'll be fine. Yeah, it doesn't really show you the win rates, right? No, it doesn't. So you'd have to check Cobra AI, but Cobra AI hides the past tournaments. Yeah, so you can't really do much. I don't know. I think most forked the Game of Thrones one. Oh, Throne Techie. Oh yeah, probably if it has Techie in its name. Game of Thrones also has an RNDB or a DB, I reckon. Speaking of RNDB, let's build a deck. R&D interface worked for me. Did you try and clear the cache? No, that's a good idea. Is it .com? I don't think it's .com. Oh, it's .com. How do I clear the cache? Control F5? Nah. We'll try it another time. It's okay. Okay. So the thing I wanted to look at right now is I've been really enjoying Seamless Launch. And I was asked a couple weeks ago, what do we think about what's one of the strongest cards right now in the format? And I think Seamless Launch is very obviously quite strong, as we've seen it be a really big thing for a year now, just about in HB decks. So not a year. It's been a couple months. Wait, did Gateway come out this year? Yeah. No, last year. Oh, it's been a year. Right? And seeing it in other factions has been really powerful. I've been really enjoying it in NBN, and largely it's just the jam agendas. It's not to do anything like too spicy, but to jam like a never advanced Palana on the table feels pretty good because you actually do make credits. But we're not actually getting any like really aggressive like on score abilities or any like tricks or traps, which is wild. Yeah, Gateway was 2021. Yeah, totally. It was a year ago. Yeah, I did have to really think about that. Time has been a bit stranger lately. So I want to try it a bit more in here, and I think the big reason I want to try this is Fly on the Wall. And I don't think it's particularly going to be good, but the idea is that if you install a Fly on the Wall naked behind some ice, you can seamless advance this and then have a click left over for some amount of tag punishment. Now, the biggest issue here is like single tag punishment in this game has gotten a fair bit worse. It's not exactly what it's used to be, and I think rotation is going to make it a bit more interesting. In terms of tag punishment, I think the best you have right now is exchange of information. And it's really easy to play exchange of information if you're scoring a 3-1. You score this 3-1, they get a tag, and the exchange of information it for a Palana. And then you're doing pretty good for yourself. That's quite good. Other single tag punishment, though, in this format doesn't really exist. You have All Seeing Eye, which is actually quite good. It's quite mean. I do not like clearing pad taps. This kind of helps me out with it. But then on top of that, I think the only other thing you have is Retribution. And I would honestly consider Retribution, but specifically against criminals. Just because it's quite good. What do you think about A&R Sealed app site? It's truly balanced for casual gamers? Yo, I've actually played a fair bit of A&R Sealed. I don't know about it being balanced because I don't know what the AI is. If you don't know what A&R Sealed is, it makes packs for you so you can play Sealed. It has the Nisei cards too, which is really cool. So you download it and it'll give you basically like a fake pack, like a booster pack, and then you can play draft technically with them or play Sealed. We had a Sealed tournament at work a couple of years ago that I ran. I think it's really fun, but I don't know if it's balanced. Like I don't know how the pools are made. I don't know what like it values, but we had a good time playing it. A&R Sealed is actually pretty rad. Vlad Exchange, yeah. The other card that I really like with Seamless Launch is Vlad Disabirsk. Vlad Disabirsk is actually like really, really interesting with seamless launch. With seamless launch and this on the table, you can fast advance 3-2s from hand. You seamless launch this, install the agenda, advance the agenda, and you can score the agenda. That's really cool. So they don't trash the Vladisbursk, and you already, and like it's still on the table. It actually gives you a way to score from hand, which is actually quite good. How could it not be balanced? You play both with the same restrictions, randomized pools. It might not like there's a chance that the weighting system for randomized distribution could what I would imagine is that if you're playing a format like a limited power format, a limited format by definition, right? And say that the algorithm does not if everybody is not doing well in terms of economy, that's not a fun game generally. Like generally you want to boost that. And I think ANR sealed, the basic identities do have some text on them. I think advertisements are harder to trash to ensure that your economy sticks a bit more. And I think that's good. But imagine like account siphon shows up as often as any other card. That could potentially be a poisonous format or like a not fun format if account siphon is in the format. Or like if keyhole is too prevalent, maybe that's not fun where there's not enough like recursion cards. So I do think any sort of sealed format does have to have a bit of balancing and weighting to some extent. Like you don't want to have the most powerful cards showing up as often as the least powerful cards. I don't know. Like I just don't want someone to have a really good draft and well, not a draft, like a sealed, and then it'd be like 100-1, no chance, right? Which other games, Unfun and Unbalanced, are quite different. Yeah, potentially. R+ with Retribution Arc Lockdown, you could do it. It's a bit difficult. So the idea, I like Acme Consulting a fair bit. I want to try Acme Consulting just because Acme Consulting can get some really mean servers. Like as soon as you put up a data ward, like they can't what's it called? They can't botulus this, they can't boomerang this. And then from behind this, you can jam anything with never advance with seamless launch. And they really have to consider running it, right? Like the idea is that you res this for 6 and then anything you put behind it could potentially be an agenda that you fast advance with what's it called? A seamless launch. Not fast advance, but fast score. That could be really quite mean. Like you could even just put the good 4-2s in your deck and just have one of the best pieces of ice in the game as soon as possible. Acme Consulting, mind you, is a 45-15 that says the runner's considered to have an additional tag. So that means things like Data Ward and the run. 8 strength, 4 subroutines on encounter is absurdly powerful for 6 credits when they're always considered to be tagged. On top of that, even cards like IP Block are very quite good. Res this for 2. Not only is there a trace to take a tag, it will 100% end the run. So they have to break this. Again, Boomerang will do it, but they can't just trace through it. So stuff like this I think is really interesting to have like an HB-esque like jam behind ice really quickly kind of mindset. Now, the difference is that sort of deck would probably just want to play the 4-2s. And there's a chance just playing the good, like, neutral 4-2 package in Acme Consultant and then maybe Palana is right. I would be maybe not surprised if that turns out to be true. So I think we're going to try that a bit. I do want to try Fly on the Wall and kind of go for there because I think there's a bit more tricks and a bit more excitement. But, like, Acme Consulting, specifically if you're not, like, double icing some remote servers, or it depends on the positionality of the ice, can be quite good. I like Fly on the Wall sucks ass compared to both tomorrow's headline and breaking news. Yes, it's not very good. Tomorrow's headline obviously is like straight better because it fires, it's a 3-2, but it fires on score or steal, but like you can only have one in your deck. I think Fly on the Wall is cool, potentially cool. I think we both open the same boosters. We're playing balanced format theoretically. Now our matches might not be very fair balance, but that's variance randomness. Oh, that's from earlier, excuse me. ANR sealed's cool. That's my take of it. I've enjoyed what I've played of it a fair bit. The only hard thing is like going through, especially because it has rotated cards if you play with that thing, like going through binders and then having to physically put all my cards together, and then they were in those decks so I couldn't build other decks. It was we had a league, so the league was like 4 to 6 weeks. It was a very nice thing to be finished with that league so I could unsleeve those things and put them back in the collection. That is the only problem with sealed, is that it's a bit annoying if you have to get like a singleton card from rotated Jinteki. Like, oh my god. Okay, I think we actually can start with our ice suite. We want all the ice that is more punishing if the runner is considered to be tagged or has an additional tag. So there's a lot that works really well with that. Data Ward is fantastic. We can have 3 of those. FTP is actually pretty good. 4 for 5 is good. These subroutines don't end the run, but they're quite annoying because the runner can't pay through them. 4 for 5 is very quite good. What else is really good? IP Block is fantastic. Is Pachinko still in the format? I don't think so, but I like IP Block over Pachinko any day of the week. I think that's kind of it. Oh, Hydra, excuse me. Yeah, Hydra is amazing. Hydra's more on the expensive end, but if you do manage to res this thing, you res it for only 5 credits, which is quite good. You need 10 credits up front, but yeah, 5 credits, it's a scary sentry. I think we can play 1, maybe 2. I don't know how good our economy is going to be, but yeah, thank you. I forgot about that one. Otherwise, like the other cards you can play are cards like Funhouse. Anything that actually gives a tag means that your positionality is a bit more flexible. Because if you have Funhouse in front of a Hydra, that still works. Because mind you, the Acme ability only works for the outermost ice, the first ice, right? So if you have your Data Ward behind an Enigma, your Data Ward's only going to be a 3-credit tax, not the huge whole thing. That's not a lot of ice. We have, in fact, no code gates. I feel like there's good code gates in faction. Is there a deck that makes Congratulations part of its win? Probably not. Congratulations the one that gives both players money? No. No, it's not very good. I just don't see why you'd play Congratulations over a pop-up window. Unless you've played already 3 pop-up windows. A Thimble Rig could be nice. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. It's not bad. I'm just not excited about it. Like, ice positionality is obviously important here. But, the thing is, like, if we want to trash programs, if we're doing Retribution, it's good to have hard end the runs. This one's not the best to end the run for that sort of lockout strategy. It's nice that it's flexible, that you can move the code gate around. But like, if you're hitting a criminal and you trash the decoder, then they have Amakua, and then anything at 0 strength is a bit of a liability. But maybe the flexibility on this is all right. I just don't know if we're going to make situations in which we're going to really worry about our Acme ability. Yeah, it's probably not bad though. What else is good? What do you play for code gates? I felt like that wasn't an issue in NBN. Hey, Diceborn, how's it going, Authenticator? I don't like Authenticator as a card at all. When the run encounters it, they make take attack to bypass it. This doesn't work with their ability. And you're basically saying this is an ice that you have 2 ways to deal with. You can either break it or gain 2 credits. And generally giving your opponent a choice is not a great thing to be doing. Now, you could say that against things like IP block, but IP block is just good. Good numbers, good stats. It's the same as Authenticator, admittedly, but it has the AI thing on it. It's really good in Acme. But I do not like that one at all. If they go tag me, it does nothing. With Magnet and Seamless, you can play Jeeves. It's kind of hard to play Jeeves. Admittedly, one of the things that a lot of Acme players can do, because this is an ability that works on the outermost ice, that you actually play a lot of ice and you go horizontal, and then you could end up playing Jeeves, and then you could end up playing like, what's it called? Fully operational. Like, that's quite good in faction, because this ability actually does work well with going wide. One frill Acme first. I think I've seen this deck, Rangi. Greg's Ice Suite's very good at OTG. I remember seeing a deck like this. How old is this? 2021. Okay. Funhouse, 2 Thimble Rig, a Toll Booth, FTP, Hydra, Thoth. No. We played this on channel for sure. Keegan Lane, really fun. Haunted Review. Okay. So this is not doing the Seamless thing. We need to spend influence on Seamless, which is going to be a fair bit. But yeah, I do like this. 3 Data Word, IP block, 2 FTP, 3 Hydra. We largely got there. Thoth is, I do not like Thoth. I don't know why we'd ever play Thoth. Biovaults. Why? Yeah, cut Thoth. Yeah. We'll get there. I don't think we can afford to play this if we're playing Seamless. And I don't know if we're going to get much out of Jeeves. What are we on? A Toll Booth? Is our money good enough for that? Toll Booth and then was like 2 Funhouse or something? 1 Funhouse. That makes more sense. 2 FTP, 3 Hydra. That's so mean. 1 Funhouse, I guess. Oh, you play Daily Quest or Regolith. Yeah, kind of. I wanted to be a bit closer to like an HB deck, where we just play the on agenda things. Like we would maybe even consider playing like a single macrophage, stuff like that. It's another way to leverage Vlad AA. Oh, that's really cool. The idea, so Vladisibirsk lets you move the credits. So if they run the Vladisibirsk, you can at least get value by, if this is res, like paying 3 credits is a bit much, but then moving those counters to a Biovault to end the run. That actually is quite cool. It's fair tough for the res big ice though. Yeah, it's a bit harder. I was hoping that this would be the higher end of our ice. Admittedly, Hydra is like 3 of them, might be a bit too much for this list. Let's try and keep it a bit closer to the ground. I don't think we need Toll Booth when we have Hydras and Data Wards. Like what is a? I just want to see if we can like straight up replicate like a good what's it called deck? Precision design deck. Thoth better than Funhouse? No, I don't honestly think so. You really think so? The Thoth is just like trace 4, like gain a credit, take a net damage or something, as opposed to like take another tag. I'm not sure. All right. Gatekeeper, Magnet, Macrophage, On-Cell Drafter. We can do this. 2 on-cell? Let's say that's our Hydra. Funhouse, Thimble Rig. So Thimble Rig is Magnet. We actually could play Magnet. Macrophage? I want to play Macrophage. Okay, let's play the actual package. Let's play the whole package. So we have Spin Doctor, Rashida 3X. Our agenda suite is going to be like the neutral stuff. So we're going to be on what? off-world office. It's a shame that like our 3-2 is not just as obnoxiously good as a luminal transubstantiation. Like this is okay. It's fine. We just have nothing that will interact with this. It's just how bad Funhouse is. It's not Raven. You're not wrong. Sandbox. Unless we're playing 1-pointers, I'm not too excited about exchange. I wonder if food is actually correct here. There's food in here, right? Yeah. Yeah, food might be correct here. Just so they actually have to steal 3 agendas, or 4 agendas, excuse me. We're at 18 points, so we just need one more. I guess we play the 3-2. I guess it's better than Beal? Is it better than Beal? Because Beal, we could actually like seamless launch to make it a 5-3 or like you know what I mean? Yeah, technically a 5-3. Food is much better with exchange. Yeah, but I don't think we play exchange unless you're playing 1-pointers. Exchanging a 2 for a 3 doesn't really do much. I don't think it's worth the effort. I guess we're playing tomorrow's headline. Vlad Acme? Yeah. Well, I don't actually know. Sangren, how's it going? I don't know if we're gonna play Vlad. I think we are, but we might just be able to like this agenda suite. I would, if we want to play Vlad, I guess you can play 4-2s. No, yeah, probably. I think we might just want to try doing the good stuff and then see if we can go to the fly on the wall, because this is going to be like immensely inconsistent. I want to see if we can just jam it first to prove if like the concept works, and like because I think we're going to run into like fundamental issues with economy. I think Seamless is really overrated in a Vlad 4-2. I don't know. I don't know. Data Ward seems really good. Not a lot of runners can't run this all the time. What else are we running in here? We have less cards. Hedge fund. Yeah, seems fine. I think we would probably play the planogram. Meow. Hey Nan, I'm streaming. I can't. I'm sorry, Maddie's not here. You're true. This true. So true. Virus Suite is good. What can we put the remote server to be a bit more taxing? We have 5 influence. Do we put our Vlads? I guess we do put our Vlads. Managarm is how much influence? 2? That's 3. So true. She'll be back soon, I swear. You want to come say hi to everyone again? They really liked you. They really did. No, I'm serious. You're very cute. They don't know how soft you are. That's not something we can translate. Hello. Okay. She's not impressed. You can cut the 1 Tibble rig and play 2 Skunk. I think that's fair. Skunk. It's probably annoying enough. What are we at? We need a fair few more cards. Wow. Imagine building a deck. Like, do we just play the annoying taxing stuff? Do we just play Turnpike to have something in the middle? NGO maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Biovault maybe? Biovault with Vlad does sound really cool. But it is, what, 2 influence a pop? We don't have that. But I do kind of like the Biovaults. You can also seamless a Biovault. Well, no, not the turn it's installed. I don't know. I don't think we have enough money. I do think we have to play Regulus. I don't think we're going to wait for daily quests. This just doesn't seem very fast, though. Like, how do we go jammy? Like, just as fast as possible. No Turnpike? Really? It's not, like, immense value. We also have to watch out about our ice positionality. Like, that's definitely true. How about some daily quest behind an ice? I don't love it. Like, maybe we do a daily quest beside a data ward, but, like, if we're trying to jam in our remote server with seamless launch, we don't want something just stinking up the server. You can leave a DQ behind 1 ice. They can never get it. It's true. We need more ice, though. How much influence is Trank Grid? It's, like, too much. It's, like, 3? I'll get there. 2. Oh, that's not bad. Turnpike is bad Acme ice. No, it's not amazing, but I think we've played all the good Acme ice. There's not that much ice that cares about being tagged. We can try it. Like, daily quest behind an IP block is fine. I just don't love 3 of them, I don't think. DRM is a good shout? Is it? I don't like showing them an agenda and then just like seamless launching it. If we DRM a 4-2 install advance, and then we can't even Bladissaburst it. Is it good? We only have 13 ice. We need to get that to what? Like 17? 6 plus 5. This is 11, 12, 13, 14 ice on. So we should play about 1 or 2 ice more. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, 3 ice more. DRM, then IAA the Vlad. But then they just run HQ. Oh, I see what you mean. Install advanced events of Vlad after DRMing, so they run it. That's the interest. That's a bit devious. I like it. No all sing? No, we have no tag punishment. We're not proactively tagging in this version. What else can we do? That is just good. Kind of like Archangel. Not to install it. We just need more ice. That's not exactly what our game plan is. I think we want to look at neutral stuff. Play a Eula, but we have a lot of barriers. Yeah, I don't think we need more barriers. I want like I want to play Enigma in this list. Like, do we ever play White Space? Like, do we play White Space? Jua? What are we doing? It's just obviously the positionality of this ice is really awkward, right? I'm just picturing you Mando drawing Enigma and does nothing for your game plan. Yo, Rongi, you can imagine. Yeah, actually, that's a bit bad. It'll be a bad one. Bit late to stream tonight. Just taught the game to 2 friends who loved it. I want to play more. That's really cool, Catherine. How'd you teach them? System Gateway? Okay, Rongi, though, imagine any ice. Like, what ice would we draw and we actually be excited about drawing it? Like, it's all the, ooh, strength 1. I don't know if, can we afford another Hydra? I guess so. Data Ward? Yeah, well, that's the good stuff. How much are we at? 16, that's good enough. We have no more influence. I feel like we're missing something like pretty obvious here. Yeah, we'll try a DRM. This is any card or it has to be an agenda? It's an agenda. Oh, that's kind of sick. Yeah, okay. Sure. Started decks, they played each side once. Oh, super cool. Hippo's gonna make you sad? Yeah, Hippo's Acme's biggest nightmare, but like, it is what it is. You can't get around that. We have a white space in here. I've seen Ping. Oh, Ping is nice. Ping is actually pretty good. Ping makes sense because his positionality isn't terrible. Because if you ping in front of a data ward, the turn you res, it's pretty good. Planogram might be better than DRM. We already have 2 of them. I like to, playing this for 3 credits might just be good enough. -1 white space, +1 macro. I do not like macro. With 3 sandbox, maybe. But I do not love macrophage. Like, drawing that in your opening hand to me is I'll try it, but like, I'm always in camp macro is bad. I'm going to try the DRM, but I think, yeah, 3rd predictive planogram might be good enough. Because we don't have a lot of money. It's like Daily Quest, Rashida, Hedge Fund, planogram, that's it. Not amazing. Okay, this is a HB, but yellow, question mark, to make us seem a bit modest, because this might not be good. 3 Hydra is probably too expensive. I think we need to trim that down. There's no way. Obviously, we res this for 5 if we res it, but like, oh, if they boomerang, that's really bad. It's 10 credits. I think you're right. The deck is caught between Jammy and Glacier. I think this deck is directly caught between Jammy and Glacier. PD is the only deck that walks the line. Like, I wish everything we could do would be more on tempo, right? Like 3 Hydra is a bit too much. Public Trail, we have nothing to do with the tag. We give them the tag, they have a tag, and then they can clear the tag. Yeah, I want to make this a bit more jammy. I don't know how to. Like, we'd have to play, like, drop Mana Garments, play Rashida. Not Rashida's, like Nico's or something. The idea that you draw 3 if you're digging for agendas, and it's Rashida if they keep tags. If they keep tags, like, our ice is pretty good. But I hear you. We'll try it. We'll try it. The thing is, like, if you have DRM, you just draw the agenda, you know? HB, but yellow, question mark, tentative. Acme is the best for deck building because you have to change very little on Jinteki on that. Gets huge points for that. NGO front for jamminess. Yo, how's it going? Smash Blade. NGO front is like, it's not actually jammy. Like, NGO front is better for a lot of Glacier decks. Because if you do install advanced events in the remote server and they run it, like, right? Like, the idea is that if we have seamless launch, they have to run anything when we don't advance. You know what I mean? But like, NGO front gets more value if putting in a remote server, then they have to run the remote server and spend more money to test it, to check it. That's better for you, if you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of decks, like, there's a reason this HB deck doesn't run NGO front. That's Assembly Lines is hella good. Ooh, Drafter. How much influence is Drafter? I feel like I'd love to play Drafter. Yeah, it doesn't always work. I think rather Regolith than DQ. I think you're right that Regolith over DQ might be correct. And maybe play some cute stuff like Psycho and HHN. Originally, we wanted to do Fly on the Wall, Seamless Launch. But we wanted to try this first before going too cute. Nanako is yelling in the other room again. Maddie is not home, so she does not know what to do. Oh, it's about dinner time. That's why. Oh, normally Maddie gets you dinner. Hold on 1 second, everyone. Hey. Hey, could you hold on for just a minute? I need to feed a cat. Oh, it's because it's dinner. This makes so much sense. Okay, give me 1 second. Thanks. Okay, I'll be right back. Hey, okay, we made it. Opening hand. Not the worst. That's a big Mex. Seamless launch headline. I'm keeping this. No, we need money. Oh, no way. Oh, hey. Can we watch cat eating while the stream starting next time? No, she's in a totally different room. This is unbelievable. I'm gonna mulligan this. We want money. Oh, that is quite bad. When we feed her, we take 2 cans of different food and we hold them out in front of her, and then she rubs her face on one of them as if she's choosing. She obviously can't read the labels. I don't think you can smell through a can, but we always present her with 2 options and she looks at one and picks one, and it's adorable. The hardest pet to take care of yourself. I feel that still over here. We're starving kitty. Yeah, I totally forgot. Normally she gets dinner now. It's like, why? What's going on here? Okay, this hand's bad. This is not good. Against Max, this deck size won't be virus Max. So we could like get this on the table. Don't feel great about it. What do we do? Wait, we click for credit. Like this is the 2 of our worst dice in our deck. Yeah, I would say that's 2 of the worst dice in our deck. At least if we get them down early, they don't like goof with our ability. So we can install this credit. Yeah, maybe. That's a really bad opening. I don't think that opening drives us in any direction. Oh. Dinner time reminds me I haven't eaten lunch yet today. No, lunch is good. I brought a second water. I forgot I had an original water. Okay, this is gonna be good stuff. So like we're really worried about the hippos. If they're playing Taka, probably running the console that goes with it. Yeah, we found our Vlad grid. Oh, hedge fund, that's nice. We can draw once here. We'll hedge fund. We can get this in their remote server if they end up running it, like whatever. This ice is actually quite good against Anarch specifically because they're generally not Amakua in this list, so they're gonna be breaking it for 3 a pop. Vlad grid scores a 4/2s and you have 3 of them in your hand. How could this be bad? It can't. No, it's not gonna be terrible. We just have to advance next turn and hope that they don't find a way to get through the symbol rig. They could have an Amakua. I think some of the max lists have 1. /J. Yeah, we'll be okay. Pat tap, that's annoying. We could deal with that, I think. Liberate to gain 4. Throwing out a Black Orchestras. They have their breaker here. So we could score at a 3/2. Skunk's agenda advance. I'd rather just like force them through this into this. So we could do Managarm advance. That's going to leave us on not a lot of credits. So they would be on 15 credits next turn. They have to run through this, and this. They could get everything. I think, yeah, we just force trashes. Just like it's, you can't understate how expensive this card can be. I'm hoping that they think it's an early blown and they don't care, or an NGO front. The thing is, like, at 8 credits, like, the issue here is that we're not threatening a Hydra, and I think Brandon is going to know that, so that keeping on 10 actually makes the face check a fair bit scarier. But on 8 credits, like, it could be a data ward, but if we spend 6 credits to make them spend 3, that's totally fine. And again, macrophage. The worst. Did we actually end up with 2 macrophages? I hope not. Please, did we not play 2 macrophages, right? I've had worse. Is this the king? Yeah, I believe it's the king. 2 macrophages. Yes. Okay. So this is exactly what I don't like about macrophage. Hey, Kat, it's going well. How are you doing? Hopefully work's going a bit better. Peterson Virus Max yesterday against Acme, which was a fun little stomp. Helped cleanse the palette after playing a grinder. I think that first word got a bit goofed up. Did you get a play Virus Max yesterday against Acme? Marginally? Oh, that's good enough, right? Over a long enough period of time. Marginally better is like exponentially better. All right, so they have the turning wheel, they have the Taka. Getting this down before an Axis is good. They also don't know whether we're hard-hitting news deck, so they're going to respect the credit differential before running. Axis on top of R&D. We have trashables in, Daily Quest, and Rashida is the only other trashable, trashing that for 3. So it looks like we're going to be able to res this for 3, install, advance, move the counters. They're going to get 1 off of the pet tap. They also have access to their Macultra. Nothing they can do about this, but they definitely want to deal with this because we can top deck 3/2s. The issue is that like R&D is wide open. But hey, we only have 1 3/2 in the deck. Okay, so we're gonna keep this open so we can see. So they have access to every single breaker. Lost to Rizeki. Haven't seen a console yet. It's either Ma or what's it called? The Keiko. I'm assuming it'll be Ma. Swipe typing in bed not the most accurate. Yeah, they're opening like they need more economy before they can continue to interact. This is now like putting a real threat on them that they have to run it. Because if we can score out, and if they lock R&D, it's a problem. But like this with seamless means that we actually can score out 3/2 from hand. Again, we only have 1. Next turn we probably want to double advance it. They could wait for that. IP block and R&D would be pretty good. It does force the paperclip. Second liberate is fantastic for their money. Okay, so it looks like they're gonna try and get through this next turn. So we could do install. Probably draw ones here. That's good. We can get 1 on R&D. We can get 1 on server 1. Go from here. We just got to keep track of this. Again, we've seen no labor rights, no rebirth, 1 Ma out. So I'm assuming there's also going to be Aeneas in here and Amakua. And these are good because they're considered tagged. So again, they can't just trace through them. They're going to have to be spending about 7 credits. Unless they boomerang it. What is the basic influence that goes in the like good stuff worlds max? DJ Fenris, rebirth, pad tap. So now we're gonna see HQ pressure, and again, oh my god, macrophage is so bad. Hippo. Okay. Not great either. This is a bane. They have 3 of them in deck. Luckily, when they use these, they remove them from the game, so they can't just Steve them back. But macrophage is hard to break. It's only gonna be 1 credit for them to break, though. Do you res this? Purge doesn't matter. Trash a virus doesn't matter. Remove a virus in the heap from the game. There are none yet. You could technically get an Amaku with that. I guess we have to res this. They're definitely not going to break this. This is also really difficult for them to hippo, but not that they would. I think it costs like 9 to 12 credits. They're tagged. Sick. Fire the meaningful one. Yeah, only one of these matters, which is trace 1. So 1 credit. Oh, okay. They're gonna get that down. Might as well. If they're playing around like Arc Lockdown, if they can afford the 3 credits, this doesn't mean they have to commit to breaking this. If they want to break it, right, they have to boost to 4, boost to 6, boost to 7, boost again. So it's 12 credits to fully break it. Considering the way that like Black Orchestra and MK Ultra boost is not intuitive. So you actually have to boost more than you think if you want to break all subroutines. If the first boosts didn't get to strength first. Cool. Again, would rather this be Enigma. Oh, they're doing that because they had Trickster Taka problems? Why are they doing that? So now they get to go Steve, and we really can't keep Steve out unless we top deck something sick, and that thing will get hippoed for sure. Gamble, you can have a gamble. Good old Steve, not a problem. Spin Doctor, damn, the one trashable. That's a card we'd like to hit the table, and they got a turning wheel. All right. Funhouse. This thing's only 3 credits on a tag for them to break. Deuces, tap, Aeneas, falsified. Falsified. Rizeki, wheel, DJ, pull up. Okay, so nothing huge. And no Amakua. Okay, it's good to know. So if we do advance here, we're down to 4 credits. Again, this is 4 to res. IP block Temple Rig is still going to be some money for them to deal with, and we can't res the Managarm. So I don't actually know what we do here. Like, we already feel like we're at the edge of our limit. It's a typical influencer. Like, I don't know. We just don't have the money anymore. Man, I feel a struggle. Like, they do so much to set up so quickly while we struggle to get 4 ice down that we can res. Oh my god. I feel like the difference between bad decks and good decks is night and day. What would an HB do at this point? Like, would we be further ahead by now? Would we I think we'd have better ice. Maybe not, actually. This is pretty good ice. Do we advance? I don't think we can afford to do that. Threatening a Hydra at some point would be good. Seamless Vlad credit. I think you're right that we could have Seamless Vlad. It'd actually be smarter. I was going to double advance it, but yeah, Seamless has to be correct. Yeah, I think the Seamless here would have been smart. It would have pulled power here. And if we're not forcing them to do something, they're just going to like build up that Doom Rig that we were just complaining about. Lost 1 Liberates so far. There's 3 of those we have to track. 1 Maw as well from an earlier turn. Maw will pull us apart because, again, HQ accesses are so cheap. That's an issue right now, is that we really have to force something else because HQ for 1 credit to get Steve and an access and a turning wheel is a bit much. I have to go back to work, but good luck for the rest of the stream. Hey, thank you, Grumpy. Starting with a sure gamble. Dirty laundry. Going HQ or R&D? HQ's good enough. Still no viruses to care about. 1 credit. Never macrophage. Am I the only one who has terrible luck with macrophage? If we got the game would be wildly different if we did score a sandbox first click. That's for sure. Our first agenda. You can have a daily cast. Vladisbursk for 4. I wonder if they trash that when there's already 1 in the remote server. No. So 13 credits. Should have put in Aryabhata. I think we would put more than 2 macrophage in at that point. Okay, like now it's a huge difference. Oh my god, imagine we seamless here. If they snipe this from HQ, we'll be quite upset. Okay, we have a chance. We need to score this. This scoring has a huge impact on the future of the game, considering the macrophage. Even the CVS and archives for 4 credits would be quite nice. They lost the paperclip and Rizeki, so 2 Rizeki's down. Can't complain about that. And now they're really considering doing this remote server. Again, this is going to be 7 credits for them, and this will be 3. So 10 credits, and they have to do with the Managarm, which is going to be 13 credits plus this. Is 17 credits. That's a huge swing on the remote server if they run it. Yeah, I wish we did that last turn. We can score this out. Then we're on game point. Now, food isn't Palana. I wonder if Palana is good enough. I wonder how weak our accesses are. Deuces wild to draw 2. They could make a run here. Gonna gain 3 credits on 17. 3 clicks left. There's that Aryabhata traffic analyze Surah deck. That's hilarious. Yeah, it works 60% of the time, all the time. That's really good. They also have 2 clicks, so they can really choose how they use this. So now we're gonna be absolutely broke. We have to res the Managarm. It's gonna cost them more than us. It's just, it's never great to let them install their breakers during an overclock turn. If they hippo this, I think we're okay with it. And at least if we res the Thimble Rig, we can put it on HQ. It means they could bounce for turning wheels, but they won't get an access for 1 credit. It'll be 3 credit. I've seen the Surat City combo deck enough times, but I could not. I know there's like an easy way to play around it. I think it's just have more money. Okay. All right, Thimble Rig. It's 3 more credits, and then we res this, and we have nothing. Again, they're spending real money here. It says that you never run that server. Yeah, that's another thing that happens when they put too many upgrades. Swap Thimble Rig. I don't think so. I think we definitely want to end the round on the remote server. We can do it at the beginning of a turn. So I'll res this. So now they either pay 5 credits or 2 clicks. I think we're happy either regardless. They still need to trash both of these, which is going to be 7 credits. So I don't think they'll go down spend 12. I think they might spend 2 clicks and 7. But now we really have nothing. And if we had a seamless in hand, we could just install the sandbox. But the fact that we spent our seamless, oh, mind you, they're overclocking their remote server. You can kind of see it there. Solve temple with macro. I think we can do it at the start of turn. Maybe we can do it here, but I was pretty sure they're going to spend 2 clicks. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think they're going to spend all their money, so I didn't want to swap it now. Here we could swap it. The issue is, like, I think it's better for us to have a server that costs 7 than a server that costs 5. Actually, no, probably not. I think the HQ runs will be way stronger for them. So we can do install advance. Yeah, I just don't know what we do anymore. Nothing feels good. Yo, Nero, how's it going? Like, if we install advance, we're not threatening to score. Like, we have to click for 3. We just have to. We can put this in the remote server in theory. Maybe that draws some attention. Oh, man. I feel like burning the seamless last turn wasn't worth it. Yeah, maybe not, because I didn't consider that we could have jammed the agenda next turn if they bought it. We would be on 1 credit shorter, or not. Actually, no, it's significant because it saves you click and a credit, so it's about a 3 credit econ card. So it kind of does matter. But yeah, I hear you. The fact that it like if we don't have a seamless, we can't really score out very easily is a problem. Yeah, it's an issue. Okay. Oh, 2 pad tap, sick. Oh god. Had a ward up on the remote, it's worthwhile. Yeah, it's a bit better, but like they overclock Hippo the ward and then we have nothing. Man, I'm feeling really deflated. Work's been busy. I've the itch to get back into Netrunner. Oh, has it been? It's a good there's a lot of nice stuff to get back into. Like I feel like we concede here? What do we do? Like we have no hard-hitting news, we have no public trail, so we can't like there's no recourse if they misstep. But like we've hit value winter one more time, right? Like we 2 pad taps around the table, turning will tricks Taka. Like we have to win in a couple turns. And with 4 credits, I don't think we do it. This has been really deflating. Like I don't know what to do. If you play any deck that's like not up to like, oh man, I don't know what to do at all. Your decks today have been too fair. I think that's totally true. It has been wildly too fair. But it's like it's upsetting when what like the too fair stuff loses to the other stuff which looks on paper to be fair, but it's just a bit too much value over a bit too much time. Yeah, we don't have a game plan anymore. What's happened? Corpse struggles so hard with fair decks. Yeah, I know. Like what's unfair? Like just the more efficient HB version of this? No surprise. Ugh. This feels so bad. If we advance this, we have to spend 6 more credits to score, or 5 more credits to score. Have we never done Ozub for newer spec on this channel? No, we haven't. We've tried to, I think. I don't think we've landed it. We've also not done any of the Jemison weirdness. I don't know what we do here. Like maybe we have a play with a Hydra, but like I think we're clicking for 3 because we can't afford to do anything in our hand. Like this is so rough when we click for 3 and they get so much value. Sokka played some games a couple weeks back. Yeah, no, the combo is really fun, right? Like you Malapur into pulling it, do 2 damage, and then you do 2/2. It's like obviously very weak to certain stuff. Like I think you're gonna struggle against Anakam, you're gonna struggle against I've Had Worse, but it seems pretty potent. At that point, you also could just play the 4/2 that does 2 net damage, right? I guess you could play all of those. Oh, being a 3/2 actually does make a heck of a difference. Oof. All right, Thimblerig's down. That's a pretty good hit for them. I think we're glad they hippoed that over anything else. Now HQ being open is obviously an issue because of turning wheel. We have 2 agendas and Steve. Oh no. Limerickin, how's it going? Probably Limerickin accurately. Man. Yeah, it's just wild. It's like all the stuff that's happening though is just like good fundamentals cards. It's nothing particularly interesting. Man. Yeah, I like the marsupial. Zaboomafoo. All right, global food. That's fine. Dirty laundry. Probably another hippo's waiting the wings. Yeah, just about. Like if they used it that freely, I'm assuming there's another because I have no doubt Brandon understands. Like if you don't hippo the data ward, you're going to have an issue. And maybe that's actually a reason why you want to keep the funhouse, because then funhouse is one of the few ices that can protect data ward. This cost them 3 credits. It's the best we got. But otherwise, I think they want to go see regardless 3 cards off the top of R&D. I didn't like the funhouse discarded. Surely, yeah, I think the funhouse discard is wrong. I think you're totally right. It's one of the few ice that like deals with hippo well. Ignoring the scoring 7 outside of fast events or hard rush is impossible. Deck seems like it has too many ice and not enough econ plus threats. I definitely think we don't have enough econ. Threats I was hoping, but like the problems of the Disburse is immensely expensive. And so like we're just starting turns with 5 credits. And if we don't top deck a hedge fund or stick a Rashida or stick a daily quest, and at this point sticking a Rashida or a daily quest is going to be impossible. So I don't think we have anything. Yeah, I think we can just concede at this point. There's just like no way that we can score behind an IP block macrophage. There's no way. Well, also not losing to this. Do you mind if you might? Oh, yeah, I feel super deflated. This is not a good feel. All right. All right. Hey, GG. Yeah, and this is the same thing that we were complaining about earlier. It's just like if your deck is just ice, it's, oh, I'm trying to shuffle. Not it's like that's not a good strat. If it's just ice, it's not a good strat. At least the other deck had an audacity, am I right? Hey, you too. Aye. That tracks. That's what chat thought. But imagine. Okay, imagine you draw Enigma instead. If we drew an Enigma instead of the first macrophage, honestly, would have been a bit better about it. But yeah, we drew Enigma here. Like, oh my god, what do we do? I've had some of that same feeling playing Corp on JNet. Yeah, maybe we just don't play Corp. Maybe that's the solution, but that can't be good. I'm so interested to know, is Corp just losing it right now? Like, is Corp just bad right now? Or are the only options to be like super fast advance? Like, is it, how polarized are the win rates on certain strategies? Play PD or CTM is fun. People do not like watching CTM. CTM is poisonous. I think any sort of thumbnail that I've had that has controlling the message in it just does not perform. I think people do not like controlling the message. Gagarin, same exact same thing. Anytime that we play Gagarin on this, people are like, I don't want to watch that. That doesn't seem like my thing. Like Gagarin is fun for, I don't know. Only if you don't play the top decks. Is it that bad? Because again, yeah, against these like sort of value over time engines, like if you do not play the top tier of like forcing things on the table, I definitely see you're underwater by like turn 5. This used to not be the case. It used to be, economy used to be a bit more explosive than this. So like you could wear it down, but you cannot wear this down. CTM's fun, good times. I agree with you to some extent. I just, people don't like it. What are we doing? That can't be the solution that we try to build a mid-range corp deck and then we think we have no options here. Like we have no chance. Maybe NEH is CTM light, embrace the dark side, try hard. Every once in a while we'll do a stream where we just try like the most like, you know, negative play experience stuff. Like we play Kentucky Prison and like that, those are fun. But I would like to try some more goofy stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's one of the issues of like the mislabeling between, not mislabeling, but there's not a big distinction between the casual lobby and the tournament lobby. Because I think most of the decks we played against today have been top tier tournament decks. Right? And like that's an issue when you're playing something silly versus, you know, what wins worlds. So Plenty of casual players around Kentucky Grinder. How's it been? Come on, Grinder doesn't equal tryhard. Kind of does. I don't know. I think it means that you don't care about your opponent's fun as much in the casual lobby. That feels a bit bad. Return home. Daniel, return to home, return to Eternal. I don't think I've played the new Eternal format in such a long time. I don't think I've played it since they've like changed the scoring point system. Also, how's it going? Dermatoglyphic, Grinder is barely try? What do you mean? I think you definitely have to try because you have to be like happy with like click for 3 credits. Do you usually build decks in anticipation of how much fun your opponent has? No, but I build decks with a consideration that my opponent, I do 100% I do. I do not think I build decks that I think my opponent's going to have a terrible time. Play some startup, smaller crowd pool allows you to get away with being silly. I don't think that's true, droids. I think startup has the exact same issue where like the value over time decks are the best stuff in startup, right? Like the majority of my experience in startup, and this has changed a bit with the booster set being, has just been like Mana Garms, Skunkworks everywhere, and then like Rizeki everywhere, right? That runner's fun when you win. Playing Mirror more punitive. 0 fun, all mine. I think Netrunner's fun when your opponent has fun. Yeah, sure. Most games are. Could run my Jinteki deck and still lose. Oh yeah, yo Elwin, I saw your deck that was posted here because it's still on the bottom here. I think that we probably get frustrated in this. Okay, we could change this. But I think we might run into the same frustrations. At least we have more things to jam. Oh, fuck. I'm so miserable. The only way is up. Red goes fast. Let's do it. The thing is, like, when we have close games and lose, which happens on stream, like, those are some of the most fun games anyways. Like, we had some great games on maybe 2 streams ago where, like, it came to the last axis or the last turn. And, like, if the game is close, it's fun. I don't care if I win or not. I care if it's close and people are making meaningful decisions, which has not exactly been happening tonight. But I think we kind of built some bad stuff and then complained about it. Red goes faster. This is Palana, right? I only bring PD to our tourney nights, but don't bring it to casual nights because I know my group is tired of me playing it. That's another thing too, is just fatigue as well. But yeah, it's kind of up to you, I guess. I tried so much, only one due to a misplay. Oh no, what was the misplay? So in short, we have a deck. We have 3 seamless launch. I think these could easily be biotic. We have 3 shipment from Tenon. Oh man, we'll play one of these and then we'll make this into more of a kill deck, right? Like we'll do more damage plays. I think we have some options with this one because the shipment from Tenon is really quite good at scoring the 3/1s. I know we told you to take the 3/1s out of the deck because we wanted to actually score it, but I think we can play like a trap damage deck. Corp. There was an interview recently for Arkham Horror with MJ. I think it was MJ. Yeah, I didn't listen to it. I just read like the write up, talking about how there's going to be a new taboo list soon, and that Lola specifically is going to get some love, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's been a while since the taboo list. What has Nisei said for the next most wanted list? I think they said nothing would change until Midnight Sun comes out, which is July, end of July. I raised the Hokusai after they think I should have, and they manually trashed the card. Told me to poke the continue button, and the Hokusai poked them for fatal. Oh, that is quite the misplay. Wait, no. I raised the Hokusai after they think I should have, and they manually trashed the card. Told me to poke the continue button, and the Hokusai poked them for fatal. So you went to a clerical error, not to like an actual misplay, right? Or did they die because they ran into Hokusai with no cards in hand? Because that's, yeah, if they've said, I will continue to run, and you have a window to res the Hokusai, they will die. But that seems like maybe just a JNet goof. Oh. We were testing when they did the new most wanted list a couple months ago, before Worlds. We were testing Grinder, and at least we had some success in it. An enemy has come out, and it thinks, I think an enemy is potentially potent in that. You obviously have to trash a card from hand. There's a real cost there. But from like competitive testing, why are people not playing Jinteki Grinder? Is it just not good enough, or is it just worse than everything else? Because I would believe the second more than I'd believe the first. Or have people just become better playing against it? I don't think I rezzed in the right window. Like they felt the run was successful, so I don't know. So the last window is like right before they access. You say, do you want to access? And once they commit to access, then you can res there. So it's hard to res Hokusai at the wrong time and have it also fire. I don't think there's a lot of instances where you do that where it can also fire. Hold 1 second. I just need to ban something. Ban. Report. What is this called? Scam. Yo, there's a button for terrorism? Oh my god. No. Okay. I don't think so. It's just GLC that feels that way. Really? Is an enemy really a grinder card? It feels more like it should be a kill threat. It can be, but like if you can actively de-res an enemy. So the way that I see grinder is that any card that does net damage, if you can stack enough of those in the deck, you can just do more hit points than, you know, more damage than they have health. When are we banning Picard? It already happened. It doesn't tell you anything on your side. On GLC, Grinder's considered the most unfun, boring deck and nobody liked it. Oh, really? Not until I become famous. What a good name for a bot, though. That's a surprisingly good name for a bot. Like, I think they're doing a good job at making the bot, because usually the bot names are like garbage. Does Grinder do okay against all the deep dive? Yes, it actually can do quite okay. The deep dive decks need a tech against it because it's inherently really hard to run 3 servers, dodge a bunch of traps, and ice that does net damage, and keep the deep dive. So you really need a Guru Devinder. So it's possible. As soon as they tech in something like a Guru Devinder or Caldera and then have a lot of money and you're not actively scoring quickly, maybe it's a problem. Some of those decks could also play Salem's Hospitality though. Huh. When you say that on green level clearance, so like on the Discord, the prevailing consensus is that it's just poisonous. Which, yeah. yeah, I don't think Grinder is that fun to play against. It's also really easy to have a bad time playing against it. Like, because some of the best patterns against Grinder are like, don't play your deck, click for 4 credits. No, on the card green level clearance, it says Grinder sucks. I think it's in the flavor text. This will never not be confusing. The argument was I brought my deck. I should be able to play those cards, and I don't like to think my deck says hit points. I wanted my cards to do something. Well, sure, but like you always have to play the matchup. I get it. Ikashi. Hey. But the issue I have with Grinder is not so much I can't play my deck. It's more so that like a lot of times the best play is click for 4 credits and like, oh my god, that's not fun. What's the drill tweet that's closest to Grinder sucks? Asking for a friend. I don't know, but I do like me some drill tweets. How much ice we have? 14. Whoa, that's way too little ice. Uh-oh. Gonna mulligan into some of it. 14 ice. That's a bit too low. All right. Hoshiko. Don't know what Hoshiko's threat is on the remote server. Right now, we're a bit flooded. So we could jam into remote server, but we can't. Oh, this is a really ugly hand. I'm not a big fan of Hansei. I'm aware that you need to have cards in hand, but generally Jinteki does not have the economy to support this, the card draw to support this. I do not like Hansei as a card. It's weird how I think my card is worth more than 5 credits. 2 cards for 5 credits seems like a bit too much to ask. We have an enemy, which doesn't really help us score at any of these agendas, so this is already looking a bit awkward. And we have Kakugo, which ends the run. So we could draw once, hopefully have something bad to throw, but maybe we just throw at the enemy. I think there's a chance that's correct. Yeah, this is really bad. People who say Grinder is successful. Can I open a drill tweet? This is going to be a problem. Alter it. Hold on. How bad is this? Is a drill tweet acceptable to run on channel? Get out of there. All this talk of Jinteki deck makes me wonder what a Grinder deck looks like. It's fine. Okay. 3x Void? I don't think this deck has any Void. I think it's just Hokusai. Because it's not like straight Glacier. Go ahead. Keep screaming Ash at me. It only makes my fantastic. Yes. Oh, thanks, you too. I didn't say that. They access makes sense. They want access. Just Hansei 3-2. No, we expect it. Yo, Dane, how's it going? Dane, have you heard the interview? The Arkham interview recently? I'm really excited for Lola. I don't know if everyone's like Camp Lola the way I am. Brave opening a random Twitter link. Yo, I really trusted Rongi there. And we got a curse word in there? So already kind of threw me under the bus. This is a very clean stream. I just Rongi dodge with my life. Okay, we need ice for the remote server to score at. I think Kakugo's gonna go in centrals and we're gonna play like pseudo grinder. Then we're gonna go hedge fund. I think that's the turn. Next turn we'll open with spin doctor. Hopefully we'll draw into more ice. This makes it hard for Hoshiko. Hoshiko can run archives to get accesses. Hoshiko does mill herself in theory if she's running, which is good. Charlie and Lola gets attention. Excited, yeah. Yeah, okay. So Koshche is running archives here. I don't think we're gonna see anything related to that, just to keep the ability on. For what it's worth, I don't even know if you run there. Like, it's sometimes better to like run every second turn. Ooh, these are gonna punish the heck out of the Kakugos. That's okay. Hey, we have money at least. We do like Hoshiko for the pollen ability. This is ugly. Blessed prayers to the great Jill in the sky. Okay, so we can... No real reason to the genotyping here. I don't know what to do. The issues that they're running constantly, like if we top deck the 3-2 score, the shipment from Tenon, like I don't know what we're going to do about that. Like this feels bad. We could have actually, we probably should have drawn there, not click for credit. We should have drawn first because we could have iced up this. Because even if we overdraw, like we could have thrown out agendas. Actually, I played that terribly. We should have drawn to get agendas on our hand. That was quite bad. German to Cliffic, I'm not opening that one. I've learned my lesson. Install 3. All right, so they didn't run this term, so hopefully we top deck a shipment from 10. How has an enemy been? It got thrown out to a Hansei review. Honestly, the testing is inconclusive. This is so wild. In my games, I get my data loops in the first 7 cards. That's just kind of how it works sometimes, huh? Subliminal. That kind of is anti-synergistic with Hoshiko. I don't love this card. This actually is actively, in a lot of ways, Elwin, a really bad card for the deck. Because we have shipment for Tenon. We don't want him to run, and we're basically saying run. Right? Like, this is the opposite of what we want. Probably could discard cards here. They likely think we have 1 or 2 agendas in hand here. I didn't look at breaker situation. 2 of them. It's my submission for Grinder drill tweet. This technically means that he didn't make a successful run, so I'm okay with this. I think we're gonna do these 2. Subliminal lets me know when I can shipment. That's very good, actually. It's good for Hansei, and that's it. Yeah, I know, and I don't love Hansei, but that's a good point. If it tells you can draw it, you can shipment. You don't have to remember anything. Yeah, they'll dream that archives. They'll dream that archives. They didn't dream that. Shipment for 10. Let's go. Oh, I forgot we had Rashida. Oh, okay, hold the phone. Subliminal's not successful run, just a run. Oh, wild. Is this run? Successful run. YOLO. That's how people use YOLO, right? I wish we had ice on archives. Good night. Pog. We need to use way more Twitch slang. We do not say pog enough. That was just the one. We gotta just say pog all the time. I think pog is just, it's a really good solution. There's only one of those. With 14 ice, I'm not excited about seeing hippos on the board state. Yeah, they might. They might. This is mutually beneficial, but we need ice on archives. 14 ice is bold, yes. Oh, it's been summoned. I used to have pogs, so you know what pog is, yeah. I've heard there's some negative connotations with pog. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I hope there's not. I've only heard pog being used as like a very generically positive thing. I think it's great that this website has its own culture, but it's probably not a good culture in retrospect. It's just a Komodo dragon. Oh yeah, sick, snare, sick. Okay, so we're just gonna say we're gonna draw 1. Okay, that's really good. That is gonna die to a hippo. That's fine. We have to sacrifice to the Anarch gods. And here we're looking pretty good. 14 ice is too low. Yeah, cat. 14 ice is way too low. The OG face of the Pog mode here came out with some questionable views. That's why they changed it. Oh, okay. Now they're gonna learn that turning wheel is their friend. Unless they hippo this, they probably hippo the Kakugo. Yeah, and we don't even do damage, right? Because they pass and hippos when they break all subroutines. Sick. Okay, I'm not genuine about this whole pog thing. I think the negative connotation was with Pog Champ because the guy was condoning the attack on the Capitol. Oh, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, we have changed. We have to change. Okay, so this is the thing. Barring the existence of Obokata Protocol in our deck, this data loop has very little value. The original, how's it unstoppable? The original face of PogChamp was Gutex, who's a real shitheel. Shitheel is a good word. I always read it as shitheel and then have to course correct pretty drastically. This is quite bad. We also have all these, we've been throwing out recursion. I guess we could abstractly just hit this button. We don't really have a play though. Like we need this for the remote server? Or do we? Yeah. Oh, that was awful. That was really quite bad. Okay. And you all go? I didn't realize we lost a Hokusai. Okay, good enough. What happened to YOLO? YOLO was never good. YOLO was bad. And then YOLO got worse, I think. I think YOLO is not good. This is why Grinder sucks. You're trying to play Netrunner. On the plus side, you actually have credits to spend for once. Oh, this has been good. I don't think we've seen a number with this many digits today. Like, that is the most digits we've seen. Let alone a 2? Oof. Uh-oh. Turning wheel. Uh-oh. Twitch just uses the BTT version of all the emotes nowadays, and, like, whatever this guy is the only global one I think they go. Which one is that, Ricetta? Fire all? Yeah, okay. Turning wheel for days. That's fine. Uh-oh. Oh, it's not a hippo. So they didn't make a run. Cool. We can score this one out. Ah, man. Almost. Is that Will Wheaton? I don't know. I'm not actually sure I know who Will Wheaton is. Oh, that's Total Biscuit. Oh, wow. Super cool. What's the emote called that Biscuit's on? That's super cool. Was that like post what's the term? Post humorous? No. Was that an existing emote or was that added after? Okay. Existed before he passed away. Okay, cool. All right, let's just make it like a bad server. The issue, I'm worried about the turning wheel, but we have enough points in the hand to lose, so. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that server go. Ginger, it's not necessary. We don't need a technician team. We'll just build it ourselves. LOL is the emote, was originally BTTV emote that was so widely used, Twitch copied it and used Total Biscuit for their version. I wonder if if that's a licensing thing or not. Dirty Laundry. Oh, we're going in here. Wait, we could win. They rebirthed into Edward Kim? That is brave. There's a big chance they're going to take a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure they have Ivan Worse in here, but there's a 40% chance they die. 40% chance to eat a snare. Koshche, you sure? It's a Yagi Uda. The agenda we wanted to fast advance out. That's fine. That's the worst agenda. But that was quite brave. Accessing with 2 cards in hand. Oh no, because of DreamNet. Because of DreamNet. But they're no longer digital. Never mind. Posthumous. Yeah, humus. Posthumous. Thank you. Hashtag never punished. No, they did draw a card with DreamNet. I did forget that. So they were totally safe. Here, though, oh my god, here, they're not going through. There's no way they're going through. 50% chance lethal. I think they're just going to get a turning wheel token here and go home. What's BTTV? I think it's like an extension for like making Twitch look nicer with emotes and stuff. That's my guess. I'm not sure. Okay, they've technically broken it. You can't break it and not go through. Oh, yeah. I think so. Well, no, because they could do it on approach. Oh, fire all. Yeah, so they don't have to break it. Because they could just fire this. You can just fire a strength boosting subroutine at any point. They just didn't want to have the Trickster Taka goof them up. It's a quality of life extension for Twitch, adds emotes and other features. Yeah. Better Twitch TV. It's pretty ubiquitous add-on that makes many people use. Okay. Okay, 19 credits. This server cost us some. I don't think we even care about seamless. I think we just draw install advance. They have a lot of money. Oh, okay, well, probably we should not have drawn. I think install advance might be better because they actually would have respect this. Now this doesn't look like an Obokata. If we install advanced and just like stuck to it, it looks like an Obokata. Back to 14 ice is too little. Not the purpose of F8 is not to have a lot of fast, but it's not a fast advance deck, right? Because our fast advance is based off the fact that they can't run. So that requires us to ice up every single server and make it unattractive for them to run. Are you stargating with a spin doctor on the table? You don't want to do that. That's not a thing you want to do. You can go ahead, stargate me. There's a spin doctor. I don't care. Cool. All right. Still have, they made a successful run. That's not true. I guess we'll get the hedge fund. I feel like we're going to be broke once we res like 2 of these ice. Okay. So we're going to have to res this. Do we seamless this? If we seamless this, we can have another action, which means we could jam a second one, but that's not very useful. I think we just seamless it. Ugly. What do we do? Do we seamless this? Most FA decks don't build a remote. Yeah, we're not exactly fast advance. Like, we have 3 Shaman from Tenon, but we can't win off of it. Like, we still have to score an agenda in a remote server somehow. And seamless is the opposite of fast advance, right? Like, it's not opposite, but like put things in remote. A huge number of sliders to disable various annoying blinking elements that Twitch has implemented over the years. Ooh. Token for the remote. Seamless. Okay. I see what you did. That's fine. I think we just triple advance this and throw out a data. I don't think we're ever going to res the other one. This is obviously very powerful because now we can jam this one in. Now, if they don't run, I just don't see a world where they don't run when they have Stargate. Oh, yikes. Oh, that's quite yikes, honestly. Old school fast advance is really slow because it only had biotic. This deck could have biotic. Hippo's also a very big weakness to this deck because normally ice is really annoying. Like, criminals can't. They just have to eat that. So far, they've eaten 2. Please do not steal the 1 agenda. Oh, they hit the shipment from Tenon. Yeah, that's fine. That's never going to work. Keiko coming down. 2 credits a turn. Nothing to it. Bring back P so I can get Audacity at home. With Biotic Prana. Hit 2 snares? Man, yeah, they need to dump that wheel at some point. 17 credits. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Bulletproof. Gonna click for credits. Obviously, if they trash this, is a problem. Fuck. That's totally a problem. Shit. Can't be bad. They're gonna leave us this 1 card. Good. The Nisa counter? Nah. That's not a Nisa counter. Because then they have a whole turn left. They just threw their turn away. That's totally acceptable. They hit the 2 snares now. What? I know. Oh. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Oh, this is bad. I honestly don't know if we need to counter that. I don't think we do. Kind of agree with Ian. Did Taka bite it? Yeah, it looks like Taka bit it, which is not necessary. Oh, the hippo's gone. If he raises for 7, we go down to 12. So this is 15 credits. Ugh. If he needs to counter, they probably would have ran back regularly. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not a big change. They can eat our hand. But you have 2 snares in hand? Sure. That's what the snares are for. The trash shipment for 10. Okay, so we have Hansei review coming in and a hedge fund. Hey, Maddie. Only 1/4 to hit the seamless on a regular run? Yeah, but they would. And Geofront, that's going down. Yo, Nana was losing it. I forgot that she didn't get her dinner. Oh, no. Yeah, she really had to strike. Yeah, if they burnt the turning wheel on that'd be quite good. Wait, are they deep diving? No. Okay, we could res to trash an agenda to give them an agenda. I think we're not going to do that. Is this optional? When you res this ice during a run, you may. Oh, I should have considered that. I thought that was necessary. It's not. It's an optional. This ice being a full art is actually, I guess all ice are sideways. No, they're not. Wait, are all ice sideways text? No, yeah, this one's particularly annoying on JNet if you don't know the text. Oh, heavens. Wait. No, no. Wait. I mean, I might just know to what's happening. Are they APOCing us? Are they seriously APOCing us? Yeah, we've seen no influence spend. No, they don't APOC us with a turning wheel with 8 counters, right? That would be daft. Oh, it's deep dive? But we can't stop it. Oh, no, this is fine. Like, if we were worried about APOC, we had to Nisei like a year ago. Like, this doesn't do anything. There's nothing we can do. Yeah. You're not in a run. Yeah, sure. If they deep dive us, we're fine. Yeah, that's fine. No agendas. Sick. Do you spend 8 on turning wheel against snares, though? No, but I don't think you play turning wheel in Apocalypse deck. It doesn't make any sense. Sick. All right. On game point. 2 Nisei counters. All we have to do is like res and Anansi. What if it's a ruse? There's no ruse. Like if it's Apocalypse, we can't do anything. There was nothing we could do. Like anyways. So there was no real, I don't think there's any advanceable card that interacts with the deep dive. Hey, Nana, Maddie's back. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Just draw shipment on an off turn like this one, or are they dirty laundering? Summon quest complete. I have never seen that happen. Have you ever seen 2 Stargates? It's technically legal. That's weird. Can we just top deck the win? All right. No, that's not enough. Draw seems weird when they have DreamNet down and have seemed to. I know. Draw is really weird. They definitely should have ran. Like they saw 2 snares, so I don't know why they don't run there. Okay, well, do we want to boost the JNet stats of Yagiuda? Yeah, I guess so. Do we even play this? Yeah, I think money is gonna be important. Oh, are we drawing next? Oh, that's fine. We'll put this on R&D. Go. Legal yet deeply upsetting. It is kind of gross. They just had to do something with Paladin, I reckon. But whatever. That's yeah. I don't even know if you do that. I guess pay credit for a second Stargate. The second Stargate is usually not that good, right? The first one finds an agenda. Then what are you doing? Trashing ice? I guess. But you have to run through this. This is kind of annoying, especially when we have a Hokusai here. Okay, let's talk about the remote, though. Immediately, we have to address the remote. So this is an Anansi that they have to run through a bunch of times. I feel like that's going to be good for us, because you cannot continue to run through this over and over again. They've played 2 I've had worse. The other options to res... No, this is the good one. Have an Anansi. Fire all. Fun. Can they not? They cannot. They literally cannot. Okay. Hard to move next onto R&D. Okay, we're going to just bottom the agenda. Hedge fund. Kakugo Anansi seamless. Okay. Draw 1 card. Why not? Okay. Fantastic. They do not have an I've had worse. So, continue? Oh, wait, don't we just win? Do we actually get an enemy lethal? Bye. Cool. Card works. GG. Secret Devil Stargate tech. It sometimes works, I guess. APOC. How's it going, Floofy? I was not expecting that wanton. Wasn't sure whether to Nisei it. I'm so used to writing Nisei all in capitals because of obviously Nisei that it's hard to do that. How's it going, Justin? Ooh, thank you. I think I'm okay when you're eating your turn. They have deep dive plus APOC. Wait, they have deep dive. They don't. Oh, they have APOC. I see what you mean. They did have an APOC. Whoa. So they're running turning wheel and APOC. This is just like the one-off APOC. Like we haven't seen any extra clicks, but it just seems like a one-off APOC to have, which makes sense. It's harder in this matchup because of like Hokusai and data loop and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, totally. That's super wild. Budget deep dive. Enjoying shenanigans. Hey, glad you like it. That's super weird. I'm surprised they didn't APOC that turn. They probably didn't have it. I think if they had it, they would have APOC'd 100 to 1. 100. That's bad. 100% they would have APOC'd it. They better be amped up. Yeah, they must be amped up because I don't understand how you deep dive or it's actually had apocalypse. That's super cool. Yeah. I think you try off centrals. It's just the Nazi plus Nisei tokens is a no-win. Yeah, I don't think they continue there. There's no reason. Like maybe it eats a Nisei token so then they can like Stargate 3 times, but they still need like 300 points. So they have to like clam through this. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. All right, when Deck's undefeated, I think he did something good here. Hey, thanks. Hey, thanks. Cheers. You too. Got your in. Okay. The issue is if we like did ship in from 10 and start playing more like agendas, I would worry that we would quickly become what's it called? A prison deck, right? Yuda doesn't get boosted after all. No, but an enemy does. Okay, so let's try this. Let's copy this. Hopefully I'm still logged in. That seems like a success. Nope, never mind. It's weird how it says they copied the deck, but then it doesn't. Can I go back further? Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to Jinteki. No, we can do something really bad here. Copy into my decks. Like, how do we get more money? I just want to get more money and making resing as hard as running as hard as possible, so we can ship in from Tenon and Biotic Labor out. Let's try that. It's almost as if it was intentional. Chance to death or let Yagi Uda get boosted. Blank 3-2. I think Nisei was okay with making a blank 3-2. I wonder if they thought that people would be slightly interested with this ability. Like, it's just wild that, you know, you swing to make it better than what was the previous one? The one with the brain jars, child or something, and then it still doesn't get there. What was that other one called? Brain something. The other 3-2 from like the original days. Okay, let's try and make this a thing. Brain trust. Thank you. Yeah, huge. We're almost there. Okay, so is Numlock on? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna go straight fast advance. How many biotics can we play in here before we hit the wall? Okay, so all of them. Part, yeah, it's good. Brainchild by Timmy Hendrix. Love that one. Oh man is right behind and she's waiting for something. Are you upset because she's home now and she wasn't here all night? Are you really pouting? You know she can't come here on stream. So you can stand here and she has to watch you from a distance. Hold on. There's no way you can see Nanako the cat. She's like, yeah, yeah. You want to? Hold on. Say hi. Say hi. Be nice. Okay. Here you go. She holds grudges if you leave too long. 432's Atlas, Beal, Vitruvius. I think Brain Trust is the one. I couldn't think of the name. Again, it's like becoming summer, so the fur is coming off. We need to brush her more, but like, it's in my mouth. Play Celebrity Gift then. Maybe government subsidy if you want more cash. I think we're going to need more cash. I think we want to play Regolith. Like, we just want to get money in our remote server. Blech. Excuse me. Probably not play Hansei. I don't think we need to play Hokusai. If anything, like Crisium Grid actually works really well with our ability. Influence. Can we play 3 Biotic Labor? That seems like a bit much. How do we score out of 5-3? We can't. Do we have enough 4-2s to win? No. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Ike, DNA Tracker, Kakugo. Okay, what other ice can we play that's just like really annoying to deal with? We have enough recursion. We don't have a lot of card draw. NGO Front is good. Rashida is pretty good. This Agenda Suite looks a bit clumsy. But that's as many 3-2s as we can play. +1 Audacity. Ooh, that's wild. Nice. Nice. Money's not amazing. So I feel like the Audacity might eat him to the upgrade suite. Yeah, Medical Breakthrough is exactly what this sort of archetype wanted. I think we are not in standard. I don't know how to make that the standard. Okay, otherwise we could play things that just make runs not to be considered successful. I think that's basically just Crisium Grid. I don't think we want Anoetic Void on Centrals. There's going to be too much pressure on our hand. Maybe we do play Hokusai. Maybe we just want to make it so runs look unattractive so people don't run. But we need to get more ice because we just want to ice up everything and just like hold on. We also want ice that kind of stays. Like Amor could work, but we're not trying to grind him out. Yeah, Embolus is interesting. Embolus might be too expensive, but like Embolus basically gets paid off by the other thing. And this doesn't have to be in a remote server. Okay, end the run. Use begins, pay 1 credit, place power counter. When the runner makes a successful run, remove a power counter from this upgrade. End the run, use the ability only during a run on this server, and it's unique. So we can Embolus like HQ. No Lacosta, no, I'm hoping that we don't have to make a remote server, but that seems a bit like a mistake. I am aware, but that's the idea at least. So what else can we Ruz for ice that's like not terrible? Swordsman, it's not amazing. I don't think there's enough. I feel like just better ice would be better against Amakua than just a swordsman. Sadaka, what stays? What's annoying and stays? Is Lindsay expensive enough? No. Mirage is actually quite good. People don't play Mirage in Grinder, but Mirage is kind of exactly what you want to do in Grinder. I wonder if we can afford to res this, but Mirage is like perfect in Grinder. Draw and recur is exactly what you want to do in Grinder. Is vanilla still legal? Yeah, it is. But I think we'd rather play Mind Game, right? How much ice do we have? 14? Keep going. Gonjin in particular, maybe. Offsets the huge price of having to res Trickster Trackers and Anansi? Kind of. If you want less pure FA, Mouseless? Yeah, Mouseless is quite taxing. That's a good point. We're already weak to pad tap, so why not? I just think the influence is going to be a problem. Yeah. Let's see. Is envelope good enough? No. Are any of the mid-range Shinteki Ice good? I don't think so. Like, is Diviner worth it? Is Diviner worth it? They break for 3 credits. We have too many code gates. We could use more barriers. So I guess it's envelope, right? Yeah, Jinteki is no good ice. Karuna is like okay. I'd actually rather play what's it called? Saisentan than Karuna, because Saisentan can just kill the runner. Karuna does 2 net damage. So kind of a mixed bag. Okay, we're in 17 ice. We have too many cards though. Surprise, surprise. Let's trash Rashida. This seems too fair. Any good neutral ice? Some of it. It's not like exciting. It's okay. Wait. Oh, that's not right. Reset there. Okay. So here we could like do ice central. We can actually score a 4-2 from hand. It's pretty wild. This is a bad idea. We install this in remote server draw. Okay, so now we actually have to build a remote server, so we can put a Nancy there. And then next turn we can score out one of these. We should be at a couple credits at this point. Then we have to stick one of these or these. This seems okay. The issues that are we only have 4 agendas that we can score out without Biotic or Audacity. That seems pretty bad. So like maybe we should just play like a mid glacier variant where we play a couple agendas. I just want to look at Aaron Andres, I think that's the name. It's deck that was posted a while ago. So cards use Biotic Labor. There's not gonna be a lot of decks that follow this. I wonder if this 2021 thing is gonna push it out of the search history. And Palana. No, just Palana Foods, please. Stop it, last pass. Okay, there we go. Because this was kind of the idea, right? A bit spiky, a Biotic Layer, a shipment for the biggest thing of this deck. And the Crimson Grids, there you go, right? Like this is what you want to make the runs not be considered successful, which is great. The 3x shipments, it seems too much for our 4 targets. It's probably a bit too much. It does technically work like a really janky seamless launch, but that seems kind of bad. I wonder if actually we should just do 3 DNA tracker and say, whatever, we can afford this. I wonder if we can. This deck had a IPO, so it's a bit different. Maybe we can. Maybe we just need to believe in ourselves. Aha. Did this have 3 Anansi? It did. Yeah, let's go. Okay. But what would we play instead of shipment, right? Like defensive remote plays, probably. Probably. Just need to convince Jaina Breestone is standard legal. What a card. What can we play for upfront economy? Like, I guess then we end up playing like Hansei Review. But again, 2 cards for 5 credits isn't amazing. Do we ever play, what's it called? Celebrity Gift? That seems to be the upfront money we need. We could try this. Again, I don't think we have a strong win condition. We eventually can build a remote server. So here we could open with this and this and this on HQ or R&D. Hopefully we get the Rashid off. Oh, now we cry a bit. But then we can like never advance the remote server. We'll be on about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 credits at this point. Then we can put this on R&D, click for 2 credits, score out next turn. A bit flooded. We're trying it again. We'd mulligan this hand. Open with this is good. So we can open with the Doctor on the table. Okay, so we have this we want to stick. So we can do envelope in the remote server. Actually, we want envelope generally on centrals to stop the turning wheel nonsense. And then we'll want to set this up next turn. So we'd build up a remote server and then we'd ice up one of the centrals. Go from there. Celebrity Gift is probably worse than Hansei draw. Plus draw with a saved click. It's weird how that is. But there's a difference between revealing your cards and having to throw out a card, right? Because when you Celebrity Gift, you don't lose the card. You lose the secrecy. Right? Like, it's a totally different thing. Like, there's very few card hands where we're looking at it and be like, wow, I'd love to throw out one of these cards. But, like, I don't mind showing us the Ice Suite that often. Sometimes that being scared of the Ice Suite is actually the best thing you can do. Let's try this. What time is it? Oh my god, it's 11:43? Okay, we're going to do one more. Hopefully this is fast. It's quite late. Palana. My choice for Hansei was because there was enough recursion through spin genotyping longevity serum. No, totally. The deck had a lot of recursion, but it's not only recursion you need, you also need card draw. Because like having 4 cards in hand and then Hanseiing to go down to like 2 cards in hand and one of them's agenda, like that's not a good situation to be in. But like the best time to play Hansei is if you're going to discard cards anyways, because you had extra cards in hand. So like the idea is if you have Planogram or like you draw with Rashida, then you can Hansei freely. Like that's the best time that you can Hansei is when you're going to discard anyways, because at that point it's not a real cost. But when you have 5 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand after mandatory, it feels a fair bit worse. Revealing every card in hand is a lot steeper than throwing one out. It depends. Again, it depends on card draw. Because you're right. If you're going to throw it anyways, what does it cost? I don't even know. Do you do that to the subliminal? Sometimes, I guess. Because then it technically is only a 4 credit econ operation. Like, if you Hansei away a subliminal, you're making it into a hedge fund. Which, like, hedge fund's good. Just weird how that is. Yeah, I reckon we should play 1 or 2 defensive upgrades. It just gives us some options. Okay, cool. I wonder if this is the Palantir. Good in restoring humanity? Subliminal, yes. Subliminal's really good in restoring humanity. One more. Oh, that's ugly. That's quite ugly. A diversion opening would be quite bad. A spin doctor can bail us out. This is as, so first resource or hardware is a fair bit cheaper. The issue with putting Mind Game on HQ is that it actually forces us to pay money every time. And that's quite bad. They'll probably draw, right? Oh, Hansei, yeah, Hansei's a bit better in restoring humanity because it's 2 for 6. As long as your ability's not already on. Early Masterwork, that's huge. It's a fair bit of card draw. Yeah, man, I got cat hair on all my face. It feels bad. It's wild how everyone who owns a cat's allergic to a cat. All right, hitting R&D here. We only have 1 snare in there. Masterwork lets them install a hardware if they want for a 1 credit extra. They've already used their as ability. Late one tonight. Schmender, I didn't realize it was 11:40. We just started a game. I mean, I'm comparing to a celebrity gift, which is double, meaning you end up with the same number of cards in hand either way if you get to loot 1 with Hansei. So prognostic coming from hand, so they have the full setup. Oof, feels bad. And the back early, which is good against a damage deck, but they drew that turn, which is sick. Okay, from here, not a lot of options. We actually should have iced up a new remote, not the Spin Doctor. That's actually a substantial misplay, because now we can't jam the Rashida or the NGO front easily. I'm with you. Barely even lunchtime yet. Lol, the Slovenian genius has been trounced and sent home by the Warriors. Okay, well, we're happy for you. Well, guess we can't all be happy. But yeah, go Warriors, go. Only 8:40 on the West Coast. Yo, we're going to be on Friday in the future soon. We'll let you know how it goes. Damn, yeah, if we iced a different remote, we actually could jam Rashida or could play Regolith. What we've done is such a massive misplay that I don't know how to recover from this. With 1 credit, we actually could just stick the Regolith. Like, this is a bit ugly. Oh. F it. I didn't mean to do that. Overwrite it? Yeah, I think overwrite will be fine. But I'd rather not have to. I actually wanted to install this naked because on 1 credit, there's not a lot that ads can do to contest this Regolith early. It's like basically top deck Miss Bones or nothing. Miss Bones would come down for 1 credit, which would be annoying, but we made 4. Kenobi is 20. What do you mean skip on? Okay, looking at the top, they get a back counter. They get a look at the top 2 cards of the deck. They can install hardware. A lot of triggers here. Not a lot of money though, so they need to get something good going. Oh, remember to hit the back. This is the issue. This is the 1 card that can't. It's really hard to be automated. Well, that's a really good start. Back token, eh? Disney Plus moved the time? Oh, because the Star Wars thing, yeah. Now I wish we did this naked too, because now I want to put the Rashida in their remote server. Hold on, we'll stop them running at some point. The boomerangs are an issue. Luckily, DNA Tracker's okay against boomerang, and Nancy's the best case scenario. But now they can't run as easily. Oh, there's a boomerang. They paid 1. I guess they had to, because they didn't have a lot of money, but you can do that clicklessly while you run. Palana, we gain a credit. We're on 18. Feeling pretty good. Bless you. Spike Hammer as well. Another good reason to keep the Spin Doctor around. And we're going HQ here. I'm going to res the Mind Game. Maybe we'll eat the boomerang. Gives them a credit. But we can't keep this around because they can diversion us. Not that this is a hard end to run. When they have 0 credits, it technically is. Not the best ice considering that it technically forces a run. Wow. Okay. It will be a fast game. Damn. I think they're still short of the back counter. What is this game? One off the top of R&D, 120% in HQ. Okay. They're 1 Obakata away from winning. And they still have a spike camera. So if they see an eject off the top of the deck, if it's the Obakata, there's no recourse for us. We have no shuffle ability. Flip switch is really good. If they jack out on the approach of an Ansi, they won't get the damage. So now we're raising 8 credits for them to just run away. And at this point, they actually could just like camp. Or like let us score a couple too. Oh, we should have waited for triggers. With 0 credits, actually, I don't think there's anything they can do. So this will definitely fire. Wait, hold on. If you and runner spend a different number, so we can spend 0. Fantastic. They've lost a clot. Okay, this does look like the deck list. So the Stargate's an issue too. Rashida gonna draw the top card that they saw. They're on 7 credits. And it is an Obokata. Huh. I feel like we have to score this. Yeah, here's where like a Hansei would be fine. Are we gonna biotic this out? I think so. Oh, hopefully we shipment it out. They might actually not run. I feel like with the back and masterwork and all this, they should have like 3 back triggers here. They would consider it. Okay. So we're risking it here. Hopefully we can shipment this out. I'd rather not biotic it if we can afford to. It's a fair bit cheaper. Not only is it not 4 credits, you don't actually pay for the advancements, so it's quite nice. All right, they're running. They don't have enough cards in hand. Here we're gonna just Resonancy. They can flip switch from there. All good? You have to technically wait because they can trigger their masterwork at this point. And here they'll probably jack out. We'll drop down to like 15 credits. Google? I'm assuming it's good, but they haven't been typing in chat. I'm just gonna do it. The thing is, if they hit automatically continue, they flatlined. Yeah, in theory, they mess up the order. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, but you can check out. You just have to do it on approach. So they died to this, but if they just didn't hit like auto continue, like where this gets really awkward, they can jack out on approach or flip switch. I see, thank you. Yeah. You can undo it. You just have to not hit continue to movement. It's super clumsy. Oh, they left. Oh, well, shit, okay. Well, yeah, no, they Nazi will automatically flatline them when they flip switch if they encounter started, so they might want to try to avoid that. Yeah, I know. That's the weird thing is like they have to not hit auto continue, so they have to wait for us to consent and then us to res. So as soon as they hit auto continue, they run into it. It's like a really big clumsiness with the interaction of flip switch and like only a Nancy. So for those who don't understand what happened, right? Like flip switch says you can use this hardware only during the corpse turn. You cannot, sorry, you have to use it during your turn and you can jack out. But a Nazi says when an encounter with a Nazi ends, do 3 net damage unless you broke all subroutines. The thing is you can fire flip switch during the encounter, which is a disaster. You can also flip switch during approach, which means you're not encountering it. But they hit continue to movement, probably because I paused for so long, because I was wondering if they were masterworking. So that's a bit of a mess. But yeah, they should have jacked out there. They had 2 cards in hand from that point. I don't know how we win. Like, we score that out. We probably get a shipment from 10 out. And then we don't have a lot of 3-2s because they stole 2 of our 3-2s. Like, we have to win off of Obokatas. Yeah, this is a mess. Don't do this. But yeah, that's a inherent problem with the continue to movement button. I think you just don't hit that ever until they res playing against Shinteki when you're playing that deck. Okay, that's all. Thanks so much for the stream. I do feel like a bit, apologies if I wasn't 100% there. I do feel like I'm getting a bit frustrated with some things. Maybe we have to like just play better stuff. Maybe we have to like figure out what decks we're playing before, but it's yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a bit frustrated. It's really awkward because there's no passing priority back and forth on JNet, just indicating you're done. Yeah, exactly, Rakatha, which works out like 99% of the time flawlessly. that 1% of the time is a non-seat with flip switch, which I think it's on the runner at that point to like watch out. But admittedly, I did wait like 2 minutes. Try some tried and true stuff next week. Yeah, I think we have to. How about you pick a deck of the week? Oh, no, that's not how that works. Clippy could also appear on JNet and say you're going to die to non-seat if you don't jack out now. Would you like to jack out? It seems like you're trying not to die. Maybe JNet just needs to have a button that says you have a flip switch. Like, do you want to jack out on approach? Like, they hard code that interaction in, but that's probably going to be a nightmare because it technically breaks the timing structure. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. When you're playing in person, that never happens. Like, that's just a JNet artifact. I wonder the deck list of the week next week is. We'll find it. Obviously, it was a meme deck, but yeah, we played against good stuff generally. Oh man. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully, you're having a good week. Having a good time with the Warriors. So how be it? We'll be back in a week. It's actually next week is a new month, so maybe Pat will be around. That'd be cool. Otherwise, I'm working on a Netrunner set. I've said this before. I'll have something show relatively soon. I think we're getting most of the stuff locked in pretty well. We've got some themes on the corp side, which has been really fun. You can just look through the new decks and pick one you like. Just help with the white blade snipes at least. Yeah, I know. But the issue is like I should just tell Eric, like if you're playing a tier 1 deck, we should not have played the game. There's just no point. It's also relevant for Toll Booth. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it is relevant for Toll Booth. You're right. And technically every on encounter, like it's relevant for Data Ward as well. I played Pat's Steve Deep Dive deck this weekend. It was fun. Oh, great. Thanks for the stream and giving the deck a few paces. Of course. I think that would actually be good to add a prompt when Ice is res to use flip switch jack out. Yeah, I think if anything, the flip switch should have like a button just like the, do you want to use 419 automatically? That never does that. Great games. Take care, Andre. Hey, Diceborn. Thank you. Hey, cheers. We'll be back in a week. Hopefully, take care of yourself. Good luck out there. If you're watching the VOD, hopefully you're doing well. If you played games, if we played games today, a good game. Good luck. Have fun. Good games. YouTube again did kind of goof up the stream last week. I'll see how it went now. The beginning is cut off, but maybe it'll be uploaded fully to YouTube. We'll find out. I hope so, at least. Take care, y'all.